after a super exciting day yesterday, I think it's going to be even more exciting today. So this is the annual matchup between 14 of the world's top players across the UK and the US. We've got 18 Grandmasters, 13 Giants of Backgammon across the two teams. And I really like this format. So across the 2 days, you've got 5 rounds of all different formats. So we started off yesterday with 1 round of doubles, a round of DMP, which was best of 5 1-point matches, and speed gammon. And now today we switched to individuals. So we've got rounds 4 and 5 are both individual 11-point matches with, I think, 2 hours between rounds. So we're about to start round 1 shortly, and then in 2 hours will be the final round. For all rounds, it was 2 points for a match win. And for then all rounds except for the DMP round, it was also 1 point for the PR win. So obviously, you know, as much as everybody wants to win the match, and they'll certainly do their best to do so, they'll also be racking up points if they play better than their opponents. After day 1, US is in the lead. So the US is on 50.5 to the UK's 40.5. 0.5 points, you might ask. How can they be on 0.5? Well, actually, the speed gammon matchups are all super exciting. The US did dominate that round, so they did win more matches and win more PR points. But there were actually 3 matches where the PRs were so close. They were all within 0.1 difference after running them through XG. So it's considered basically a virtual tie, and they gave 0.5 points to each of the teams in that circumstance. So it's the first team to 88 points wins. So in backgammon parlance, the US is 37.5 away and the UK is 47.5 away. And our first matchup today is going well. Both matches today are going to be absolutely phenomenal. So first up on the stream, we've got Pete Heskett against Chris Trencher, who are both G2 Grandmasters. And then the final round is going to be Oliver Squire versus Gerry Tansey. Ollie being a G2 Grandmaster and Gerry being a G0 Grandmaster at number 5 in the world on BMAP. So I know, I certainly know Pete as a player. Pete's from London and plays at the same club as myself, actually. Shout out to East Finchley Backgammon Club at the Clissold Arms. He's, I think, having a real rise over the last year or so. He's won a couple of events in the UK, notably last year's UK Open and then the St Albans Open this year. And certainly very, very keen to get his first international win under his belt. And with certainly the level of backgammon he's been playing and how hard he works at his game, I've got no doubt that an international win is not far away for Pete. I'm Merrin Rose, by the way, and I'm here with Kent Goulding. Kent, do you want to introduce Chris for the US?
Well, I didn't do a whole lot of homework. I've known Chris for quite some time. I think he rose to prominence and got very, very strong when I was away from backgammon, which is sort of between, year 2000 and maybe 5 or 6 years ago. When I stopped playing backgammon, I believe I was acquainted with him, but he wasn't a superstar. And when I came back, all of a sudden Chris Trencher is very, very strong. And I play mostly when I'm in the US. I play mostly in tournaments. In the eastern part of the country, not entirely. I just won a tournament in California, but that's another matter. And Chris is pretty much at all of them and almost always winning in the money after I've been knocked out. When I'm knocked out, I'm usually doing commentary, and there's often Chris, still alive and still playing well. He also still plays in some chouettes, some money backgammon. He's confident, and he is very strong. He deserves his, whatever it is, GM2 rating. And I expect this is a very close matchup between him and Pete. I'm really looking forward to it.
Good. Yeah, certainly, the matches that I've seen recently with Pete, he's playing some absolute lights out backgammon at the moment. Plenty of matches where he's playing a 2 or a 1 point something even. So I've got no doubt that we're going to see a super strong match between them today, which will be really exciting. So while we're waiting for the players, we didn't really talk about the Magriel Cup and Paul Magriel himself yesterday. And Kent, you were certainly acquainted with Paul, I think yourself quite well. Do you want to share some of your knowledge about Paul?
Well, I could. Yes, some. The first thing I'd like to say about Paul is however he may have appeared or behaved at various times, the superstar, all the lights are on him, and the big egotist or whatever. In his heart, there was no more humble, nice guy. There wasn't a nasty bone in his body. And he was extremely enthusiastic, not just about solving backgammon and the tired old thing, making order out of chaos, which is what backgammon is. But he was into that from the first day I met him, which would have been early to mid 1970s. In the 1978 World Championship, which was in the Bahamas, he won, but in the semifinals, he had to get past the young Washington Flash, which was the young kid from Washington, D.C., who was setting the world on fire. And that was me before my hair turned white. And we played, I don't know, it was either a 21 or 23 point semifinal. I took an 11-0 lead. At the time, we were both full of ourselves and figured whichever one of us won this match was going to win the world championship. That may not have been true. We probably were the first and second players left among the four remaining, but it might have been close. I was ahead 11-0, and then it was like a tortoise and the hare race. I'd win a point, he'd win two. I'd win a point, he'd win two. I'd win a point, he'd win two. And it finally came down to either DMP or I was ahead 1-0 to 3, and he won 2 points to go ahead, 2-1 Crawford or something like that. And the first words he said, we knew each other pretty well, but the first words he said to me during the actual match was when he took the lead at the very end, he said, "New favorite." And then and then he won, and he was and for many years, I don't remember who won the world championship the next couple of years. Paul Magriel was just the world champion for a better part of the 1970s and 1980s. Yeah, you might name one or two people who got in there and won it here and there, but Paul Magriel everybody knew Paul Magriel was the world champion. He wrote the Backgammon Bible, the Backgammon book. He was, in the early days in Monte Carlo, the technology we're on right now, the streaming and the internet and all this stuff, was the little size of the GoPro cameras we use, which, thumbnail size and extremely powerful. None of this existed in the 1980s. And the World Championship had the money and the foresight, I think mainly motivated by Louis de Young, who was running the tournaments back then, to have closed circuit TV set up. Sort of like what we're doing now, but literally closed circuit TV. They had TV cameras, weighed 200 pounds each or whatever, had to be suspended from scaffolding over the board. Heavy cables had to be run from the playing site to the viewing site, which would be like a small quarter of a ballroom or something with chairs lined up. And there in the front on a microphone would be Paul Magriel, and giving us the blow-by-blow, sort of like we're doing today, but on just the crude technology. In order to get the picture right on the cameras, they needed to put huge, powerful lights in, and so you're playing. The players are playing under the lights, and it's bright and it's hot. So, and it's intimidating. I mean, now everybody plays. Everybody's streamed worldwide. Everybody's used to it. Nobody notices. You can't even tell if the camera's on. Back then, it was a big deal. You were like in a little mini studio, and you were cooking. And Paul would be in the other room. He was enthusiastic. He was a child with a toy. He also had tons and tons of knowledge. Honestly, he was more anxious to share his knowledge and raise other people up than to boast about it and try to be good and keep it away so other people wouldn't be as good as he was. He was the exact opposite. Without naming names, many of the players in this tournament today, if they made, at least in the old days, if they made discoveries or found things, that was a secret weapon they should not share. Paul was the exact opposite. And he really got a kick. He got more excited than the players or the audience when he was doing the commentary. and he knew exactly what he was talking about. So, I mean, I actually, in the early days of trying to do commentary, modeled myself after Paul. Bring the enthusiasm to the game. What's happening, what could happen, and what's in the players' minds. He was very good at that. He tried to make you feel like you were at the table as opposed to watching and analyzing in some detail, some delicate position. How much time we have to fill, I can talk about Paul. I went to, one of my fun stories is, he was teaching right away. There's no internet, no Zoom, no anything like that. So you had to see him in person. He had a difficult set of problems he'd pass out. And if you did the problems, then you could pay him whatever his fee was, travel to New York or catch him somewhere and he'd go over the problems and that would be your lesson. And a friend of mine and I did this. I actually scored very high. It helped me realize how good I was back in the early days. We went to his apartment in Manhattan at the time, and walked into, the teaching room was basically a library with 2-story bookshelves, 20 feet high or something, with just books and books and books and books. There were books stacked on side tables. There were books stacked on the floor. And before, in the middle of the room, there's a backgammon table set up with no books on it. And before we started, I'm walking around looking at the various titles in the library, and there's anything. It wasn't like one topic. And I looked at Paul and I said, how many of these books have you read? And he looked back at me and squinted a little bit, and like it was a stupid question. He said, well, all of them. Later, I was running a bunch of big tournaments, first in DC, then in Boston, and then in Dallas, Texas, and the World Cup tournaments. Are we almost ready to go? Well, I'll show.
I think we're still just waiting for Pete. Oh, they might be in the room now.
Okay.
And I think at our end, we can only see a little board at the moment. I think Stu's just finalising the streaming setup here for us, but I'm sure they'll start very shortly. No, but that's wonderful what you were saying about Magriel being, really generous with his time and knowledge and kind of wanting to share all that information, both as a commentator, as a player, and as a player. And, I've actually found that quite a lot with the UK backgammon community as well. There are so many of our top players who are actually hugely generous with their time and their knowledge, and particularly for a player like myself, I've been working really hard on my game and kind of improving and have certain things that I'm wanting to achieve. And I think when you work hard, they kind of recognise that, and they're very, there are a lot of people, including Pete is one of, the most supportive, I would say, that I've had over the last couple of years. He's very generous with his time and his knowledge, and kind of helping me figure out little things that I haven't quite got my head around yet, and all those sorts of things. There's no point gatekeeping knowledge, in my opinion. Half of the time we think we know it all, but we've still got to apply it in the right scenario, right? And even the top players who say they know everything are still getting things wrong. So we're never getting it right 100% of the time.
Just a quick note, we had a little bit of technical difficulties, and the USBGF channel was not allowing me to multi-stream, so we will be sharing the match on the USBGF channel only today. So the match has just started, and feel free to join us. I welcome all our USBGF viewers. I apologize for the disconnect on the multi-stream. I have tried my best to make sure it works, but we are going ahead with the start. We may be able to restart this for round 5, but for now we're going to stick with this. All right, thanks everybody.
All right. Well, with that in mind, Kent, do you want to maybe take point on the first game, and I'll quickly fire out a flurry of comms to see if I can drag all of our UK mates over to this channel.
Yeah, okay. Well, this is right away gotten into the spin cycle or washing machine. It's a mutual holding game. Both sides have advanced anchors. It's not lethal if either side is hit. So what we're basically doing is both sides are either waiting for doubles to release from the back, or waiting to for their opponent to have an awkward number, which forces them to leave a shot, which if hit would be very expensive or costly. And here, obviously, Black has, without even looking at the pip count, Black's position is stronger. And now look at the pip count, and no surprise, White's ahead in the race. So what this game's going to boil down to is, if Black doesn't really care if like a blot out here gets hit. It might even be right to leave 2 blots in the outfield and bring 1 in and cover the 5. I predict he's going to cover the 5. He needs to have a winning position if he hits a shot. I'm not sure what happened. Did I miss a 3 somewhere, or did he slot with a 3? Maybe he slotted with a 3. Now he'll cover. He needs his 5-point board. The blot there doesn't matter if it's hit. Look at all the return shots he'll have. And meanwhile, Pete's trying to hang on and either get doubles himself or have Chris go broke and have to give up on his defenders. Here, seeing his debate is pay me now or pay me later. He can play safe like he did, but leave it really stretched thin. And this small number by Chris was perfect. Still, each side, this is it. Something's going to happen this roll. No, not quite. I don't think Chris wants to break either of his anchors, so he has to break his board first. Not fatal, but bad. And now Pete's got to perform. And this since he's well ahead in the race, that's the play. Now there's 9s and 2s. 2-5 covers. This is fewer shots, but maybe this cleans up better. And if missed, Chris still has to move. And there's a miss. Now, Chris can't really afford to be hit. Things have turned around such that Pete's board is stronger. So now it's simply a matter of can Pete get home without getting hit, or can he reach a strong enough position that he may get home leaving only 1 shot or no shots. If he thinks he's gotten to the point where he may leave 1 shot or no shots, then he might double. Meanwhile, some pips have been lost, so Chris has not quite caught up in the race, but made it close. So this is not a double. Great shot, boxes. Now the game's basically over. I think he'd have to roll double 6s back to make it even close. So this now goes double pass. But from the point we started talking, it was, who's going to roll doubles? All the action was in the outfield, and who's either going to roll doubles or be forced to leave a shot, which if hit is crunched. This is nice with 4 checkers. He'll hit. And with 4 checkers on the 8-point, he can make the 4 without giving up the 8. If he can't make if making the 4 means giving up the 8, then you probably see a player play 13-9 twice, as opposed to 1.5 good things. Perfect shot. Are you back with us, Merrin? Are you still working?
Yes, I'm back. I've notified all my UK buds, so hopefully we've bumped up the viewers for the US channel. And blink and you miss it, the first game's already over. It actually looks like they've got quite fast clock settings on this as well, so that's good for us. We won't be sitting watching them for minutes on end debating plays. Double 4 is great. That just brings 2 down and makes the 2-point, I think. And then 5-2 possibly is going to just bring 2 down. That could fire on the 5-point. You could also just come out from the back. I quite like this. It's challenging those 2 strip points in the outfield. 5-4 hits. That's wonderful. And he's come in on the ace point, which immediately makes 2 anchors, but you don't really want to stay there. So he's just popped that checker straight up onto the 20-point. Okay, double 5, I think just brings all 3 out from the 20. Does it? He's quite far down. He's 30 pips down in the race. So I guess it's going to be 15 pips after he plays all of his 5s. So in that case, staying back might be better. But this is still, very challenging for Chris Trencher to bring this home if he brings those 3 checkers out to 15-point. I quite like making the 15 and the 16-point, particularly when the opponent's still got the midpoint. It's much more challenging just having your own midpoint. What are you doing with these, Kent?
Well, the best play with these is the one that Pete almost looked at, which is to play 3 of them and then not play the 4th. He really wants to come around and slot his 5-point, but if he does that, he does not have a good 4th 5. I mean, when I first looked at it, and he's behind in the race. So when I first looked at it, I thought, slot the 5-point and then find a 4th 5, but there is no 4th 5. The 4th 5 is destructive rather than constructive. So now he's shuffling around. My first reaction, if this was a speed gammon, I would have made the slot the 5-point and then dump one to the ace, or pick up my dice and hope my opponent didn't notice type trick. That's what he wants to do. This holds everything in play. The problem with this is he's actually behind in the race and he doesn't want to get into a position like that. So that's what he's thinking. And clearly it's not clear to him, or he would have already made a choice here. I mean, round and round he goes. You know, this on balance.
Play. I really don't like clearing the midpoint at all. I think I would be quite tempted to bring 3 out and then maybe play the 4th checker to the 10-point. Obviously, I know it's in range of the anchor, but then he has to break the anchor to hit you.
See, he keeps coming back to this and then not liking the 4th one. I guarantee you that's what's in his brain. He wants to put that checker on his 5-point, but then he doesn't have a 4th 5, so he's got to look for what's second best, and it's not easy. Any of these plays could be right. I mean, overall, he's behind in the race, so he wants to keep the tension. Oh, this is nice.
Look at this, Ken. Double 4 is horrific.
This blows up Black's position.
I actually think this is forced, isn't it? I'm not sure how many 4s he has, because the 4s are blocked from the back. They're blocked from the 9.
He's played the 3 that are forced, and now he has a 4th one.
Okay. It was great for the race, but horrific for Chris's structure. And Pete is immediately stopping to have a bit of a think, but because of the race, I think he's still not cubing yet. That makes the bar point, which is really nice, I think. Okay, 5-1 is just going to point on the ace point, I think.
Oh, for sure.
Just tidy up a little. It's not the point you want to make, but okay, 3-1.
Everything doesn't quite work, you know?
Oh, it's just falling apart, this structure.
For both sides, by the way. It's not like Pete's position is all that great. He's got, doesn't have as many buried checkers. They both got 3-point boards, and they both got an anchor on the other guy's board, and they both got a mess. You know, the trick here is Chris is miles ahead. There's a strong temptation here to split the back checkers, right, and try to get them out next turn.
But if you split the back checkers and the only 3 is going to be 9-6, it might not be terrible. He does really want to make the 6-point at some stage in the near future.
Has he played 3-1 already?
No. Oh, I guess maybe he has.
Yeah.
Right, I didn't see that he played that 3.
That checker might stay there and just slot the 3-point. This is a scramble. Both sides have 3-point boards, which is not overwhelming, but not to be laughed at.
Okay, but now Pete has decided to cube. This is really interesting. I mean, he's just looking at how awful Chris's structure is. He's lost his 6-point and his 5-point. He's already buried 2 checkers. And Pete's got those lovely landing spots. He's got complete outfield coverage. Chris has taken. And so now what are we doing? Just remake the midpoint. You could also do something like make the 19. This is quite nice as well. This has got a significant amount of outfield coverage. Okay, 5-4.
Lots of interesting stuff with this. He can hit, but I'm not sure that's right. Might be right just to jump out and make the 16-point. Remember, he's still comfortably ahead in the race. And neither side has a great home board. I mean, I suspect he's going to make the 16-point here.
There's a couple of interesting options. He can make the 16, or he can actually just run past 20-11. And again, if Pete, Pete probably will hit. but then he'll have to give up that high anchor, and in the meantime, Chris has kept his own anchor on the 21 point.
This is the play he's going to make. Oh, I believe this is the play I would make with minimal. I mean, you're ahead in the race. This one, you can see how you can clean it up. You pull the back ones around behind you and just keep them together.
It certainly looks much nicer from a kind of bridging perspective, you know, keeping all the checkers relatively connected, trying to bring things home.
This is the big play, but, you know, does this win if your opponent dances? I think this one's, I think the threat of your opponent dancing isn't quite big enough. I'm glad he's taken all this time. It makes it much easier for us to act silly. Look at this. This is, other than double threes, probably his best roll.
Absolutely.
Now, the race has gotten very, very close all of a sudden. And now the question is, if he dances, well, the cube's already been turned. So that's, oh, is that the 5 point? Wow. This could turn gammonish fairly quickly.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate that he can't make the 2 with the double 5s, but he can certainly move a lot of freight with that one. Just bring everything into the zone, try and close out with the next roll. Okay, 2-3 is in, but can he stay in? 5-3 closes the board.
Now it's all about trying to win a gammon, and there's no, you don't have to bear off completely safely because Chris's board is so smashed up.
Right.
Chris is a favorite to save the gammon.
One into the 6, waste nothing.
It's trouble.
Yes,
it's trouble. No 3.
I could be playing to the 5 there to get double 5s.
Yeah, he should double check which doubles work. That just takes a minute or two to see.
Yeah, I think it needs to be 9 to 5 to make sure the double 5s take a checker off. Double 4s still works. But if he plays 10 to 6, then double 5 is not going to take a checker off next turn.
But double 3s does. Does double 3s work the other way? Is he trading 3s for 5s? Is that what's happening?
Could be. Yes, you're right. It could be.
All right, now
that's a gammon and 5-0 to Pete.
Wow.
Romping head start. And so, as you were discussing yesterday, this is now, you know, a fairly significant race deficit, score deficit. So Chris is going to be cubing very aggressively here. Four, 3. I'm getting a little bit of lag on my stream here, but hopefully that'll settle down. So he's looking at hitting on the 5 on his 5 point with the 3, and then which 4 to play. Okay, pays off, leaving it slotted. 3-1 probably just comes in on the 24 and brings one down, or does it come up to the 21 point? Okay,
this is
slotting
the
5,
play.
nice and provocative. 5-2 doesn't do anything.
You know, back in the old days,
he's going to attack in board here again.
Yeah, back in the old days, you might actually hit here out of desperation.
Yeah, everything else is extremely passive.
And anything looks bad.
Okay, 6-5 from Pete's not fantastic. Okay, he's going for the double hit. There was also like 9-3 and then cover the 8 point.
He could
or even covering the 8 and then coming out to the 18. I think covering the 8 was quite important there.
He did that. That was interesting. He didn't look at look at just running out to the 13, but it left a lot of shots. But if it worked, he was in good shape. Still a total mess.
Yes, double 1's fantastic. That makes the 5 to 7 and 8 to 7 with the last one, I think. Some instant structure. Double six is a bit awkward. I think as he played 2, I think he's played 13-1. With the lag here, I'm just struggling a little with doubles to see what they're playing and how many they've got left. Okay. And Chris is stopping to think about whether he's got a cube. He's down in the race, but he's got much better structure. 6-1 runs out and hits. 4-2 is going to hit back, I think, even though it breaks from there.
This is cube time at this match score. So much, whatever Pete does, so much can go right. This could really blow up in Pete's face, even though he's got plenty of winning chances.
Oh.
One average plus roll by Chris could really knock Pete for a loop. Of course, Chris might.
I mean, this is a very volatile position,
right.
And that's exactly what Chris is looking for, a volatile position that he can cube and get a gammon to claw back 4 insta-points. Pete is tossing up what to do with this 4-2. It looks like he doesn't really want to come in low. I'm not sure about this play. I've just realized that I can move this little camera so I can see what they're doing over there. That looks like it might have been the top play or certainly close to it, but Chris is, as you said, didn't really matter perhaps what he did. Chris is cubing, but 4-6 is an air ball, hits nothing.
It could hit on the ace. Doesn't really want
to. Can hit on the ace. Maybe it should. That checker is kind of back where you want it to be.
Could play 13-7.
You don't want him to come in high and make that anchor. But what else is there? Okay, 9. What was that? 16 to 10. Okay, 4-3. I think making the anchor is pretty important here.
And then he doesn't have a
for
4.
lack of suitable 4s. It is a pretty ugly roll, but I think that 3 is mandatory. Okay, 3-1 hits on the 20. And yeah, that's a nice point to make, blocking the exit strategy for Pete. Okay, and 2-2 makes the 6 prime and hits en route. So Pete really wants probably a 1 here, maybe coming low, and that's awful. 5-4. Are you hitting on the 3-point here, right? I think so.
Here he wants to get hit back and go back and get some more of the blots.
Okay, 3-2. You don't really want to have the spare on the 10, so I like this, covering the 3 and then playing 15-13.
The overall picture here is basically Chris is probably going to win, a single. Chris wants to hold his prime as long as he can, and that A gives Pete's board a chance to break. And once Pete's board is truly broken, then leaving a shot doesn't cost him. We're not quite there yet. That's a good roll. As long as Pete can keep a viable home board, he could conceivably win. Like here, a 6-3 pops up or something, and then shot and hit.
Yeah, I mean, Chris has just rolled 2 6s in a row, which really isn't what he wanted. Left that back point a bit stranded, but he's cleared it now with a lovely 5-3.
And now it's basically the gammon's pretty much disappeared. So now there's some small chance that Chris could still lose. So it's gone from saving a gammon to the gammon is essentially saved with a small chance of winning.
Here can get back in the race. Yeah. So Pete's got a 5-point board here. It's you know, he'll run with the next roll if he can and hope to get a shot. I think you just run with this one. Okay, 6-1 is a little awkward. It's odd now on the outside. Any large double is going to leave a shot, or a 6-2. 5-3 is great. I think you just take 2 off. You could also play them both from the 6, but that leaves, again, 3 checkers on the 5 point. So any 6-5-4 combination next time would leave a shot. Okay. And Pete's rolling small, which is enabling him to stay back, but now he has to go. I think he's probably just quite pleased to save the gammon after all that volatility.
Whoa, look at that.
Only just.
one more small number by Pete and he would have lost it.
Okay, so Chris has got 2 points on the board and we're at 5-2. Both players playing under a 4 at the moment, which is what we would expect. I think these will probably come down even lower by the end of the match. Okay, double 4 is probably just going to attack. 8-4, 6-2. What are your thoughts? I mean, double 4s are just so difficult.
Yeah,
obviously having that extra builder makes you want to step up to the 20 as well. There's plenty of options here.
If the scores were reversed, I'd look at other plays, but as a significant underdog, you make this play and then you double.
Yes, agreed.
Let Pete worry about it. I mean, this is a takeable cue, but at this score, it's very, very dangerous.
Yeah, and it looks like it was even slightly too good. Looks like a slight error to double and the drop was correct. So that was a too good and a pass. So we're at 5-3. 6-5 just comes in and out, I think, with the same checker. Okay, and Pete is, I'd say, definitely going to make a point or hit next roll. 3-2 makes the bar. Or it hits. Maybe it hits. Probably hit and maybe even hit and step up from the back. I quite like having those builders all spread out. 5-4 hits back. It can also anchor, but I think hitting back is strong. And it's good on today's Heroes stream. We can now see what you normally see as an observer. You can see kind of the green for a small mistake, yellow for an error, and a red for a blunder. So that will help Kent and I figure out if we're saying the right things or not. Sometimes we are and sometimes we aren't. So he's come in with the 5, which is forced, and then yes, it comes straight out.
Now we're back.
They now both have the opponent's 5-point anchor, so perfectly even really at the back.
Back in the washing machine waiting for doubles, but there are the doubles. Now the question is going to be, oh, there's doubles going the other way, except for somebody, Johnny is stuck. You know, stuck on the 18.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. The double 6 was great, but Pete is still miles ahead in the race after the double 6. So here he's going to throw the double straight over, the cube straight over. I feel like this is takeable. You know, as Chris, you've got the 20-point anchor. You know, Pete's got 3 guys firing at you, sure, but 2 of those points are stripped, so you're going to get tons of returns. Chris does have a better board. And he's behind in the score, which indicates playing more aggressively. So if I was Chris, I think I would be snapping this up.
We saw a similar position yesterday, and I'll make the same comment now I made then. Pete's well ahead in the race. I mean, the race is essentially won. There's a little bit of ugly, i.e., winning the race here, but there's not a lot. I would have dropped for sure if I held the 9-point instead of if he held the 9-point instead of the 10, and I think it was probably a drop there too. Well, look, it says not quite.
It looks like it was a take.
It was a take.
Probably
wow.
That'd be between, I guess, 0.3 and 0.8
Yeah,
take.
that's interesting.
I just, there was a lot of play left in that position still.
Might also be match score driven.
Yes, I mean the score was clearly also pointing towards the take for sure. So Pete 6-3 up. And yeah, he's going to come in on the 22 and just be slightly less under the gun. Okay, Pete's throwing the cube over again within. I feel like this is more threatening than the previous cube. But maybe he dropped the cube and then realized that he shouldn't have. So this is a reactive take maybe. I don't know. And Chris is going to slot the 4 with this. He's just going to try and make a board as quickly as he can. But unless he comes in with a 2, he's in quite a lot of trouble here. I think probably just, I mean, obviously this pays off to the 2-6, but he gets return shots if Chris rolls a 2-6. So that's probably a good play. Okay, 6-4 closes the board, and this is a lot of gammons in this position. Chris has only got 6 checkers into his home board. He's got so many crossovers to roll in order to save this. Of course, if he gets a shot, misses the first one. 3-2 is going to take a checker off, I think, and play 4-2. This is probably the last chance. Must be this. You have to leave a shot. You may as well take a checker off. Okay. So that definitely looks like gammon for Pete.
So it's going to be 8 away Crawford. What does that mean?
It certainly means that Chris has got quite a large hill to climb. So Pete is, we were talking about this yesterday. These positions keep coming up. Crawford, even away. I mean, Chris is definitely going to be trying to get a gammon wherever he possibly can. Pete's desperately trying to avoid a gammon, but really all he wants to do is win the game. He's not going to be thinking about gammons at all. He just wants to focus on the plays that are going to win the most. Making a 7-point with his first roll is pretty strong. And now he makes the rack, rolling like a dream. Okay, 6-2, I think he's probably just going to play into the 5-point. He could also, he'd love to split. This is a huge amount of shots.
What he's worried about is letting Chris have a free rein to build his own blockade.
Yes, sure.
Coming into the 5-point is, well, this is an interesting hybrid. I like this play. This is working on, he's got the rack, he's got the 3-point board. He doesn't want to stay back stuck on the 24-point. This is the other play, splitting out.
I really like that last play actually, because it really neatly duplicates a lot of Chris's 6s, because then Chris would use a 6 to hit, whereas he'd really love to use a 6 to make his bar point.
That's correct.
A lot of the time in this position. Okay, the analysis didn't love it. We both thought it was quite a cool play.
Well, I thought it was a good candidate. What he wasn't going to do is play the knee-jerk reaction 13-5, because that just left too much of a free rein for Chris. So he had to do something that distracted Chris from just improving his blockade, and he succeeded in that regard.
And as a quick comment for our viewers, it sounds like there's one match that's already finished. So Rory Pascar has just defeated Kat Kerr. So that's 2 points on the board for the US. Not sure about the PRs. I'm sure we'll find out. So that would make it where are we? 52.5 for the US and 40.5 for the UK. The UK is definitely hoping for a good round this round to at least win as many matches as possible to get right back in the skirmish. Okay, so we're getting some info through. It looks like Rory played a 2.67 and Kat played a 4.6. So that's quite unlikely, I think, to be reversed by XG's deeper analysis. So it's probably 3 points there to the US. Okay, Pete's just can't hit, so he's going to keep making the board. 6-3 can't safety. So, and coming around is going to leave 2 shots. So he's just going to sneak on up to the 15 and then bury a checker behind. 6-1 will probably slot the 2. Okay. 3-1 can pick and par, well, hit and cover, rather. That's a great roll. Okay. 5-1. So just focusing very briefly on the updates coming through from Stu. Has he played anything here? I assume maybe 13 to... Okay. What a brilliant roll. Covers the 2, gets those 2 checkers off the 18 and just brings 1 down. If he makes the bar, he's in the driving seat here. 1-6 is going to come out, I think, because he's got no choice. Okay, 8-2, maybe coming out was too much. Okay, 4-2 is just going to play into the 5. Pete's just going to attack him, I think, wherever possible. He could also just bring 2 down, but I think you want to still have the midpoint while you've got that checker back on the 22. 3-1 is awkward. I think 10-6 here, Kent.
Yeah, it's a little bit. The problem here is he's going to be attacked on the ace point. I mean, this is the nicest looking play. It does leave that extra blot, which fortunately there was no hit on the ace point, so now he's free to advance. What he was thinking about is just not leaving an extra blot, but this worked out okay.
I think you have to leave a blot somewhere regardless, and leaving the blot where it can be constructive was much better than playing it to the ace. Okay. Double 1's great. I think you probably make the 4 and then play 2-1 now. If you end up in a hitting I don't know why you would hit and continue.
Well, the reason he would make a play like this is because 25% of the time Pete fans or rolls a number which doesn't hit. That's what he's looking at. It looks ugly, but there's some upside to it. There's something that can go right. Like this.
Yeah, it's difficult. I misread the position there because the lag, I couldn't kind of see. I thought the blot was on the 4 and not the 3. Okay, so it looks like it's back. So 3-2. I don't think he's played anything yet. Is the midpoint doing anything here? Probably not. Do you bring them both down or do you just play 10-5? 10-5 is probably better if Pete tries to run. Okay, but Pete's closed the board. So, but double 5 immediately opens it back up again. That's not what Pete wanted to see at all. 6-1 comes out. Okay, but Pete's still got to roll well here to come home.
Well, that was a good, a careful play there by Chris.
Yes, very interesting.
If he had run out, he was basically just resigning, whereas making this play left aces, but also if an ace isn't rolled, gives him at least some chance of counterplay.
Yep, and he doesn't care about being gammoned. If he loses 1 point, he loses the match. So you can make much more provocative kind of plays when you're losing to Crawford or at post-Crawford, whenever you're 1 away.
These are tricky positions we're in here now. In the old days, we would immediately attack the 4 point, but it's not always right to immediately attack the 4 point when you have good outfield coverage. Sometimes it's right to maximize your outfield coverage for a roll or two and then start moving in on the 4 point. Here he got lucky. I mean, he moved in on the 4 point, minimizing his outfield coverage for the 4-6, but he rolled a number which hit anyway. Boy, he keeps coming in. Better hit this. Now there's no reason to slot. You just and now Chris is a favorite.
Yes. Although obviously Pete doesn't have any checkers off, but is still very unlikely to get a gammon here.
Right, sort of a boring single win, no gammon, no loss. Sort of the most boring thing that could happen for the spectators.
Yeah, I mean there was a bit of a risk there. There still is a bit of a risk that Chris might leave a shot, but it's looking unlikely. I think Pete's probably going to have to go with this roll anyway. Okay, so can afford to wait 1 more.
Well, probably, maybe not.
Yeah, he's just decided it's not worth it. Okay, and he's still. Oh yeah, he's going to save it now. Okay. Okay, 5-3. So that's going to be 10-4 post Crawford. And at odd away, you don't have a free drop, so Chris might kind of hold off on cubing, but eventually he's going to cube, and Peters is going to take 5-4. God, early game 5-4 so often is just really unhelpful. He's just going to run out to the 14. 4-1 just comes down to the 8. Okay, this is all looking very stacky on both sides. That's a good idea, I think, bringing down an extra builder and diversifying a little bit, but 5-3 is probably just going to stack it up again. Okay, so Pete's going to hit here, and he's got quite a blitzy structure, so this could go wrong for Chris pretty quickly. And now Pete's in full-on blitz mode. He's just going to attack with everything he has. Double tiger. Okay, 2 4s and 6s will all cover. The 2 is great, and then 8 to 7. I mean, this leaves the double 4, but he decided it was worth it for the extra hitting numbers should Chris enter with a 4, which is what unfolded. So it's looking like the lights are dimming here for Chris. And we can't see the PRs at the moment. I wonder how they're playing. It looks like they're not making many mistakes from what we can see from the feed. But what we've got on the screen at the moment is actually the scores for all the thicker things at the moment. This actually looks like the furthest progressed match out of everybody. And then we've got, unless any other matches have finished, of course, we'll take a look at that in a second. And now all that needs to happen is Pete just doesn't want to leave a shot. As long as he can roll safely and not leave a shot, then he is home free. 6-3 is great. And probably just one more roll. As long as he doesn't roll a 1, he'll have clinched the win. And that did. So 2 points on the board at least for Pete. And we'll see the PRs pop up in a minute. Obviously, these PRs aren't the definitive PRs. All of these match files are going through to the team captains and a small squad of helpers, I believe. They're running them through XG and getting the official PRs from that. And this looks like quite close, actually. So Chris Trencher was 3.27, Pete was 3.46. So that is certainly close enough that it might change on XG analysis. So we'll see. Just having a quick look at the results sheet. So Gaz Owen has beaten Neil Kazaros in his match, and he won the PR point as well, 3.45 versus 5.09. So that's 3 points there for the UK. And as we said before, Rory beat Kat Kerr and also got the PR point. So that's looks like we're tied at 3-all in this round for the 2 matches that have finished so far. Okay. So have we got here Lawrence Powell and Paul Swain. Do you know Paul? Did we come across Paul on the stream yesterday, Kent? I can't remember.
I don't remember either. I don't think I know either of these players, which is sort of unusual.
Yeah, I know Lawrence well. He's a London player. He's been on the UK team, I think, a number of times, including in Greece last year, and I think Sweden the year before, which is the only 2 years that I've been. I'm sure he's been on the team a number of times.
Paul Swain might be the guy that popped up on Jeopardy, the American TV show, and claimed to be a strong backgammon player. And I gather he actually, if you know what I'm thinking of, I gather he is. He's played a lot of online backgammon, and he's been playing very, very well. I'm curious to see what he shows us here. I mean, I guess with all the online play, it's easier to do, but there's very few players that get out and play at a high level that I haven't met, at least not in the U.S. And here's one of them. And we've got a very close match. What is it, 4 to go, 3 to go? So this is one of those scores where cue gets turned, anybody wins a gammon, it's the last game of the match. Not quite as exciting as 4 to go, where, you know, it's sort of like when the count is 3-2 in American baseball, you predict the next pitch is going to be fouled away. At 4 away, I predict this is the last game. Somebody's going to double and somebody's going to get gammon. And it's close to that here. Well, so much for positional play. This is almost certainly going to be full-on blitz now. And if Paul can get in quickly, he's got a fine game. If he stays out even one roll, he's in trouble. I think duplication of the 2s here is the way to go. There's nothing else much to do. We get 2s and 9s and some 10s. That's none of the above. So now, yeah, Lawrence wants the ace there is almost for certain. The question is whether that 3 was the right 3 or not. He wants to do something in the back. He wants as much tension as possible, given he's got the 4-point board and his opponent's only got a 2-point board. He's trying to create. He's looking to wrestle. He's looking to exchange hits. And what does this do? Maybe he makes the 9-point. No, the hit may be too much. This looks like a good play for Paul Swain. And that's
it. Looks like we've got results pouring in now in quick succession. So we've just had another 2 wins coming from the US. Steve Sachs has defeated Chris Bray. Joe Russell has beaten Andrew Fortiadis. But then, so we've got so far 3 wins for the US and 2 wins for the UK. So once again, it's quite a closely fought round. We're still waiting on the PRs for those ones. So we'll see those come through shortly, I'm sure. Okay, 5-5. So we're at 3 away, 4 away, and we haven't seen a cube make an appearance yet. This is obviously what we were talking about yesterday with Lawrence being quite reticent to cube at this score, and now obviously it looks like he's way too good. It's a really difficult, window to find, I think, at 3 away, 4 away. And he's just making sure that large doubles play well. Double 3 is fine, so that is going to play 9 to 6. And then, yes, that looks good. 10 to 1. So everything is safe next roll. Double 1 is great. You don't necessarily need to rip aggressively here to get the gammon, so he's just playing them from onto the 4 and taking 1 off, which looks fine. Double 2 is great. He can still keep the board closed and take 2 off. He could also open the 6 point. What are your thoughts on this, Kent?
No, I don't. You've hit the nail on the head. The question is how much do you trade slightly less chance of winning a gammon for slightly less chance of getting hit? And it looks like this popped up in my face. What's the actual crossover count for white? 2 to get in. 2, 4, 6.
Yeah, I think it's about 19 crossovers or something like that.
If it's 19 crossovers, then play. Well, this is sort of a combination play. It opened 1 point and not 2. If the cross is very likely to be a gammon, and where will we be? At Crawford.
Oh,
what happened?
I think for some reason they switched the players. I think.
Our theme all week.
I think pretty much the whole stream they've been having the US player on the bottom, so I think that's what they've just done, is just flipped it so the US is the bottom player and the UK is the top player. Just wasn't quite expecting it. Oh gosh, he's still dancing. Okay, but 3-2 leaves a shot, but he can't hit it. So
that would have been exciting.
Unfortunately, yeah, but double 5 is still not going to be enough, I think, to save the gammon unless he rolls another 3 of those in quick succession. Double 1's not going to be enough. Okay, so 2 off for Lawrence, and that's, yeah, I mean, they'll play on, but he could resign here. It's not going to save the gammon. It's impossible. So that is going to be 10-7 Crawford to Lawrence. And be helpful if we could have a peek at the PRs if Stu is listening, to see how the players are playing. Okay, and at 4 away, Crawford, obviously Paul will take a gammon if he gets it, but if he gets a gammon, he's giving his opponent a free drop for the next game, so it's really much of a muchness. 6-4's an ugly roll. He's come in from the bar and then just slots the 4 point, I think. There's that 4-5. I don't know what it is about 4-5. It's so rarely useful in my experience. I really don't like it. Okay. 6-1. 5-1. What does this do? Probably just, he's not played any of it, I don't think, so he just hits maybe 13-7.
You can play 11 to 10 also.
You could also play 11 to 10. That duplicates the 3s really neatly. Okay.
By the way, gammons are very much live for Paul here.
Yes, indeed. So 5-4 is just going to hit in the outfield, I think. Why not? What else can he do? He can cover the 4. I don't really like hitting on the ace point. Of course, I mean, he's got 9 in the zone. It's not really very blitzy. I would just hit in the outfield, escape a checker and hit. 4-1 is going to double hit. nice and volatile, which is probably what Paul wants. 6-5 can hit on the 10 point. It can also point on the 2. I wonder if they're going to look at this other play. 21 to 10. It does leave a significant amount of blots. So maybe if you're hitting, okay, so that was a blunder. I wonder what the right play was there. Going to anchor up on the 21. Okay, remaking the 8 is nice. And a 5-2 really doesn't do much at all. They're not using a lot of time, these guys. Playing pretty quickly. Okay, and Paul's just going to continue the hitting spree, and now he's probably going to make an anchor as well. 5-1 probably. Does it make the 20 or?
That's my play right there. I like that.
Yeah, he's throwing everything at a back game now.
Yeah, he's just trying to make his 5 point. It's not so much a back game. He's got a lot of checkers back, but he really wants to make his 5 points. What he's trying to do. Now the spare on the 21 should pop out into the outfield.
Okay, we can see the PRs now. We've got Lawrence playing about a 5.1 and Paul 5.5. Not too badly. 6-5.
Both players want their 5 point. That's what the next few rolls are all about.
Or trying to get the other players 5 points.
Get both.
Okay.
This is a very nice positional advantage for Paul. The problem is how do you bring it? It's not so easy to bring home. It's positions like this where Paul's side wants to have more than 15 checkers. He wants to be able to hold all the stuff in the back, build some stuff in the middle, and extend his blockade on his side. But 15 checkers isn't nearly enough to accomplish all of that. Lawrence, meanwhile, is going to want to try to get some kind of anchor. 18 point would be nice. Hitting off the midpoint and just trying to scoot out, leaving Paul's army divided in half is another thing he'd like to do. We'll see what he gets here. Paul's pushing
more results
as well
have come in. Got more results have come in. So we've got the US now at 11 for the round and the UK at 8. Bob Wachtel has defeated Jason Pack 11-8. So that is 4 match wins for the US, but 3 match wins for the UK. And then the third match win for the UK, which I haven't reported yet, is Julian Fetterline, who beat Kit Woolsey. Also played a phenomenal 1.71, Julian, which is the lowest PR of the round, I think, so far from what I can see. So that's 2 PR wins for the UK and 3 PR wins for the US. And another result going in right now actually is Jim Thinson for the US has beaten Ian Gwynn. So 13-8 at the moment. Nice and close. Okay, 13-8 is not quite, 5-2 rather, is not quite enough to get that checker out from the back. But he's going to step up so that he can escape with 6s. 3-1. I definitely think getting that spare off the 24 is a good idea. Maybe just 6-5 with the last one. I'm not sure. I mean, I think I just play 24-21. If Lauren rolls something like a 3-1, he's obviously going to use that to make his 5 point, not to hit you. And he really wants 6s to escape, not to hit on the 7. So I don't think you really mind having that checker there. Okay, so 6-1 is interesting. Okay, 2-1 is fantastic for Lawrence. He's making his 5-point. All of a sudden there's 2 in the air, and all he needs to do now is escape these back checkers as soon as he can. 6-2, and then, yes, 7-5 and escape. But Paul is in. 6-1 hits again. I'm pretty sure it hits again. You can also make the 15, but you're in danger there. You're leaving a block just to get sent straight back behind that blockade again. I think I would just be hitting. What do you think about this one, Kent? That's interesting.
No, I would have hit.
Yeah, I think hit, and it just leaves kind of 4-5 and 1-5. Okay. 6-6. So that checker on the 16 isn't going anywhere. So certainly 21-9 has got to be 2 of them. And he's miles behind in the race. So is there any point bringing the other ones forward? Paul thinks no. He's looking at slotting 2 points in his board.
This is not easy. The temptation to stay back on the 24 point is often right, but sometimes it's right to actually try to just put all your eggs in the outfield basket and come out to the 18 point. And if you lose the battle in the outfield, you've probably lost. You know, the 4-7 back game isn't a back game; it's a holding game or a front game. Keeping the security of the 24 point and being in it till the end is a valid consideration, and it may turn out to be good here, but I'm not certain. That was a tough position with double sixes.
Mm-hmm. Round score now 16-9. I've just had it come in that Jason Pack has also played a smoking 1.17 in his match against Bob Wachtel. Bob won the match, but Jason definitely won that PR point. So the Brits are dialed in, but they're not winning quite as many matches as the US so far. Okay, 6-4 is great. That's going to run from the 21 point. 3-2, I think, yes, plays to the 2 and the 6. That looks like a nice structure. And double 6 is a real shame. That's going to bring that in, and then 5-1 twice, I think. Just try and preserve the board. Oh, that's a shot. But unfortunately he misses it, so he's just got to run from the 21 point. Stay back, as you know, again, he's certainly not winning the race, so he's going to have to hope for a shot. 2 1s played into the 5. Looks like that's definitely right. He could have also made the 4, but there's 6-1 was pretty much a match-winning roll after that. Paul. Okay. Double 3. How many of these has he played? He doesn't need gammons. Remember, all he's focused on is the win here, so he's just looking on the safest way to play these. It might have just been all 4 of them from the 6 point, I think. Because this is quite uncomfortable now. 6-5, 6-2. 3-1's okay. That's going to clear the 6. And 3-2 is, oh, double 2 is quite uncomfortable, but I think you just play 3 of them. Oh yeah, of course, I didn't see that you could hit and point on the 1. Okay, double 6 means he can stay for 1 more roll. He is quite unlikely to get a shot here, but okay, he's running. He's not going to win the race, so I think he just has to stay back and hope he can stay. But Lawrence should just clear the 5 point here. Just don't risk the shots. I don't think you need to. Just clear the 5, and he should have the race in the bag. Hopefully this is not commentator's curse by me saying this. Okay. So it looks like that's going to be 2 points to Lawrence, which would make the score 16-12, pending the PR point. They still haven't put in the PRs for Pete Heskett and Chris Trencher, which suggests to me that it's incredibly close and they must be rerunning it. That's obviously the first round, the very first match that we watched in its entirety. And when we announced the PRs, it did look like it was quite close. So they'll run it. If it's very close, they'll run it again. And then if it's within 0.1 of a PR point, then they will they'll split the points, so 0.5 per player. Okay, Ollie is now down. So we'll switch to, who's this? Matt Cohn-Geier and Ollie Squire, who we're going to see next on the stream against Gerry Tansey, giant of a match. And Ollie's not looking in the most amazing shape. I'd rather be in Matt's position. Not sure why they're paused. Maybe if we have a quick look at the Heroes chat, it might give us a clue. Stu, maybe they've had to pause quickly for some kind of unknown reason. Okay, so with the current scorecard for the round showing 16 to the US and 10 for the UK, overall scores are 66.5 to the US and 50.5 to the UK. And as a reminder, it's first to 88 wins. So obviously the US is closer, so they're basically 22 points away from winning. The PR points are actually going in right now for Pete and Chris, Pete Heskett, Chris Trencher into the score sheet. Pete played a 3.96 and Chris played a 2.41. That actually changed quite a bit on the analysis, so that's another 0.2 to the US. Okay. And as I look back, that finished pretty much as expected. Didn't look like Ollie was going to wangle his way out of that one.
Oh, here we are. It's a KG score, 4-away, and the cube's been turned. So now either we need a gammon or a redouble, and it's the final game of the match. Otherwise, there's more gammon to play. Two extraordinarily
apparently Matt just played a 1.81 in that match, which is phenomenal if that's what it comes out at. There's a few ones being played today. Everyone's on fire.
Oliver played at 2.5 and might be disappointed, which is mind-boggling.
I would be disappointed if I played a 2.5 and I lost the PR. I'm going to be real honest with you. I'd be upset.
No, I think he might be disappointed with the 2.5.
Oh, I see. I'll take it if he doesn't want it, you know. I'm certainly happy with the 2.5.
I played a match against him in the Masters jackpot at the UK Open 2 years ago, and I had recorded the match. I actually ended up winning it, but I had to do the transcribing, and I did it in bits and pieces. It's a busy weekend. There's demands on my time, and I'm old and slow, so transcribing takes time. So after several games, I reported back to to Reece that okay, your PR is at a lousy 1.03, and I kept updating him every few games, and it ended up he was at 2.01, and he like burst into tears because he'd been under two the whole time, and it came out 2.01, and he was really disappointed. I was disappointed for him. I kept going game after game, and this guy's playing, close to zero, and he ended up at 2.
I mean, it is really frustrating when you've been playing a match so well and you played really well. I literally had this the other day, and I'm playing in the World Women's Championships on WBIF, and I played a 13-point match where pretty much the whole match I was playing like a 3. And then I made one awful cube blunder, so I ended up coming out at like a 6. And it's so frustrating when that happens. It's one mistake that can just screw up your PR sometimes, but the way it goes.
Yeah, considering
okay, 4-away, 2-away. This is an exciting score.
So this is the another, since we are in the Magriel Cup, this is going back to the very early days of modern backgammon. Paul's little saying was at 2-away, 4-away, you should probably double on the opening roll if you're the 4-away. He said you should probably double on the opening roll if you're 4-away, unless you think you're smart enough to know when to double later, in which case you should definitely double on the opening roll.
Sure.
Because you aren't
Jerry
smart.
kind of almost took that advice. He rolled a 2-1 and then a double 4 and then just threw the cube across, and Reece had no interest in taking it, it appears, because he dropped it very quickly.
Yeah, well, he rolled the joker too soon.
Mm.
And here we go again.
And this is the last match now of the round, I've been told, so everybody else is finished. It looks like the US has certainly leading in this round as well, as a few wins have been reported in, all on the US side. So the current score, the most up-to-date score is 24 to the US and 12 to the UK. So what have we got? We've got Jeremy Bagai has beat Chris Hamilton. I'm not sure. I think I've reported most of these already. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9 match wins for the US and 4 for the UK. So it did look quite close early on, but the US are sweeping quite a few of the points here, as it turns out. Certainly still not going to be enough to clinch victory for this round, so the UK can absolutely rally and make it an exciting finish. I hope they do. Okay. So while I was waffling on about all the other matches, I can see a cube has been turned. So now gammons for Reece mean nothing. He just needs to win the game in any fashion and he'll win the match. But Gerry's super keen to get a gammon because he needs a gammon on this cube to win the match. Otherwise, he just goes up 10-9 Crawford. 5-4 is great. That's going to enter and hit. Which one is it going to hit? Probably this one. I could also hit 13 to 10. That did give good 6s from the bar, which is exactly what Gerry rolled. Okay. And all of a sudden, Reece is dancing without coming in. His hope is fading. Okay, 4-3 is probably just going to play to the 8. He really, really wants, desperate to close out, but Reece has come in, which is an absolute lifeline for him. That was necessary.
He has no 4th one.
Oh.
Both of them.
Here he's jumping around a bit, which is a shame because that's a really interesting sequence that's happening here. Okay, so he's just going to bring all 3 down, play with the 1 block. He's miles ahead in the race and he just needs to try and get home, but Reece is going to hit this checker. He has to. And then probably 10 to 9. Okay, reasonable. 5-2 is going to make, oh yes, lots of options here. Is that both of them that he's played? So he's really gutted that he can't make his 5-point here because Gerry can now run with a 6. Luckily, the 6-4 is blocked for Reece, so he can't run all the way. So he's thinking, does he come out? I mean, I guess you do.
I'm not 100% sure. And the only what do you get? You don't get missed with much. So this you may get another shot at it next turn, and you got a 4-point board here. Now there's that doesn't close it. So now he's going to have a second shot at a 6 when it's not a 35 number hitter or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And still,
okay, gosh, he's having real trouble closing that point.
Well, yeah, or building his 4-point or pointing on him. So, Gerry's had 2 or 3 shots here where he could escape, and now just hitting. Now his board's starting to crunch and may crunch more, but notice he's got a 5-point board to Reece's 2-point board. So
yeah,
exchanging hits could be very dangerous.
So lucky for Reece, he did get hit, but he rolled a 6 immediately, which was crucial. And he's just really struggling to complete this prime. He's probably just going to leave that checker where it is, out of range of being pointed on by that extra, those extra checkers on the 10. That's the perfect roll. That blocks everything except the 6-1. Okay, can't roll the prime forward. He's going to, I would maybe just leave one of those checkers back in case Gerry got the 6. It's brilliant. You can just make 2 points and try and roll this forward now. Because you've got to make the ace point. You really wanted the 2, but he'll take what he's been given. Oh, wow. The Joker Fogelant, 2-6 from the bar, and Reece can't hit it. And Gerry's rolled a 5-5. Reece will be pretty unhappy about that sequence. And, 6-6 from Reece. It is still really close. And 4-4, okay. Wow, I can't believe Reece almost clawed that one back. So we're at 10-9 Crawford. Again, now it's Gerry that just needs to win the game, but Reece is going to be all guns blazing for a gammon here. If a gammon wins in the match in this game. Okay, 4-1 makes the 5. He's got a really threatening looking structure very quickly. 6-6 is pretty unpleasant. What do you do in these positions, Kent? Are you bringing 3 down, or are you making the 2?
Well, there's no. I need to look at everything. It's this one in particular is very difficult. You sort of want to pull that back checker out, but it's so dangerous to do so. So with that, you're sort of you're in gammon save mode. So here he's happy to have that anchor. Now keep as many builders as possible. Hope the blot's not hit, and try to counter prime.
Yeah.
Sort of funny here. There was I think Reece was right to make his bar point. What he really wants to do is mobilize the back checkers before Gerry rolls a couple of small numbers and is suddenly, in a prime versus prime with a viable position. As is slowly happening. I mean, Reece still has a clear edge, but this is.
Yeah, he's pretty desperate for a 4 right about now. If he doesn't roll a 4 very quickly, he's going to be in some trouble. If it wasn't gammon save, he'd definitely slot the 5-point. What he's thinking about now is the right play to win is to slot the 5-point, but it also gets you gammon more often. So that's what he was stewing over. Okay, he's got very little time left now to get that back checker escaped. But 6-3 is favourable for Reece. That's perfect. I think he's just going to have to point on the ace, which means that Reece will come in high. He doesn't have to point on the ace. Oh, okay, we lost a couple of moves there.
Yeah, double match point, it might have been right to leave the blots like you were looking at, but I think where he's in gammon save mode, very, very difficult to gammon 2 checkers on the 23 point. So leaving extra blots in a long shot attempt to win might cost you more gammons than you save in wins.
Yeah, sure. Okay, 6-1. Not amazing. Yeah, clearing the 7 was probably very reasonable. It was an awkward structure otherwise.
Clearing the 7 against, when you're bearing against the 2 point, clearing the 7 ahead of the 8 is almost always right. That's a fun fact to know and tell. I had a position at the UK Open lecture I gave, which showed just that. And a very strong player did it wrong, did it incorrectly, and it was like a 0.09 error, and what seemed like a normal play. Well, Gammon's not saved yet.
No, it's not.
Mostly is, but not quite. Only 8 checkers left over there. They can get off quickly. Let's see 4 of them. Yeah, that's only 2 of them. Now, Gerry should not monkey around. All right, it's almost home. It's got to get a checker off. Oh, yes, that does it. He's on the 9 point, so that's got to work. Well, I think we don't worry about gammons now.
Yeah, and we're at 10-all post Crawford, but obviously that doesn't matter because neither of them is able to utilize the cube. 1 point wins. So this is DMP, and they're all just focused about what's the best play to win this game. Okay, 4-4 is great from Gerry. 6-6, a fantastic response. So they've both made advanced anchors, and they're both really close in the race. 4-4, yes, probably just tidies up, I think. 4-1 makes the 4 point slot for 5, preparing the board. 5-3, I think is going to play 2 off the 6 point. I don't think he wants to try and run from the 16 because Gerry, there's just so many ways that Gerry can hit and cover.
Yeah, that was a difficult plan. I'm not sure it actually wasn't right to run off the 16.
Yeah, it looks like it might have been. The analysis didn't love the 6-3, 6-1. Could have been right.
And the trick was, it's a very, very difficult position to clean up, and your opponent had, a 2 point board with a blot in it. So, take the chance now, where if you get hit, you've got some life after death. Whereas later on, there may be no life after death. That was not an easy play, and I'm not surprised that the holding everything and praying for a better roll later was. I'm not surprised that was wrong.
I have just noticed that Reece has got 9 seconds left on his clock, so that's probably why he didn't spend long thinking about it. Which doesn't necessarily surprise me. Reece is an incredibly methodical player. He does take quite a lot of time mulling over the difficult decisions. So he very regularly runs low on his clock. Gerry, on the other hand, has still got 11 minutes, so he's got plenty of time. Not that he'll probably need it. Okay, 5-3 is playing one in, so Gerry's still just trying to hold, and he gets rewarded. He gets a shot. I think Reece just played both from the 10 and hopes to be missed, which he is. So 3-3 is what's the race going to be? 78. So it's going to be 6 pips down if he runs.
Yeah, I think he has to. I think he just wrecks his position, and there's no number that leaves a shot next turn. So now we've got a race where Reece has got a nice. Oops! Now Reece has a huge edge.
Yes, that's a nice roll from Gerry. Getting 2 in. Okay. So Reece has a gap on the 3, but at least now he had spares on the 6, which is so he could fill that gap immediately when he did roll the 3. So that was helpful. 3-1 takes 2 off. Okay. It's nothing, that big double wouldn't fix for Gerry. It's incredibly close. The PR is also reasonably close as well. Sorry, excuse me, Gerry playing a 4 and Reece playing a 5. Okay, 5-1 is, and now what? 6-5. Isn't interesting. What's your, where do you put the one?
Yeah, well, there may be different plays depending on how desperate you are. The further ahead of the race you are, the more you want to play 2-1. The further behind the race you are, the more you want to play 4-3. And I don't know which this one in many can he get enough off here? Yes. Now
he needs a double
boys
six
are better.
To clinch it.
Not quite.
Okay, right down to the last roll. I love those games. Not when you lose them, of course, but well done, Hodgie. Reece Hodges has taken the win for that one, and we'll see who takes the PR point. So if we now have a look at the scoreboard, I can see that everything now has been updated except for that match. So results and PRs are in for everybody. With the match win going in for Reece, the round score is 26 for the US and 15 for the UK, with 1 point still to be added. So it'll either be 27-15 or 26-16. And the overall score now is 76.5 for the US and then 55.5 for the UK. So after that round, the UK is 11 points behind, and they started the day, I think, at 10 points behind. So pretty much held the same position after the round.
What were the scores? The totals?
Yeah, there we go. Okay, and I think I'm not quite sure. I think they weren't sure how long this round was going to go for, but I think the next round is not due to start until 9 p.m. Well, half an hour, I think. So that's 9 p.m. UK.
Hi, Merrin. I'm talking to the coaches of both federations right now to see if we can maybe start a match from round 5 a little earlier. Technically, we're not supposed to start this next round until quarter after the hour, which is about 45 minutes from now. And of course, we want to keep our happy streamers. So we were looking to see if we can get a match going now, and then we'll start that one a little early, and then we'll switch to Gerry Tansey versus Oliver Squire when that begins. So hang tight, and feel free to just keep talking about the scores. I'll be back with you shortly.
Okay, thanks, Stu. I think probably from the UK's perspective, probably quite a few players would be happy to start earlier rather than later, because otherwise, starting at 9 means they might not be finishing until 11 or something like that. So we'll just see, but they might need a little bit of a break. So if anyone's got any questions or anything, now is probably a good time to pop them in the chat, and I've just flipped across so that I can see. I've got 94 people watching. I hope everyone's clicking the like button. I've just realized I haven't done that, so I'm going to do that myself.
We just found our match, so we're gonna stream Matt Cohn-Geier versus Gaz Owen, which is quite a formidable matchup. So hang tight, absolutely. And we'll have that going shortly.
Another fantastic fixture. Okay. So we've watched a little bit. I mean, obviously yesterday Gaz and Ian Gwynn were streamed for their doubles match. I don't think we've streamed a full match by Matt Cohn-Geier yet, have we, Kent?
I don't remember. I don't think so. No, I don't. I like. I'm a big MCG. That's what he calls him by the initials MCG. I'm a big Matt Cohn-Geier fan. He's unaffected, easygoing, easily amused by backgammon. He'll laugh at his bad rolls and think how curious it is in his own little mind. But he is an extraordinarily strong, sort of natural player. yes, he studies, and I've seen him get deep into the weeds with trying to sort out 6 different positions, which are, 0.04 apart in PRs, and trying to figure out why one is one versus the other. But over the board, he's a little more seat of the pants, except for he's a very, very strong seat of the pants player. When you catch him, well, I talk to him a lot on the side, just about positions, about this, about that. He's very open. But when you catch him, usually in conjunction with somebody else doing commentary, when Matt speaks, I listen. I mean, everything that comes out of his mouth is enlightening, and it's straight out of his brain. He's not trying to match up XG. He's just saying, here's what I see and here's what I think. And a lot of it really is visual. This looks right. And he'll say, I'm not sure it's right, but this looks right. And I love players who play that way. And now he doesn't only play that way. He can calculate. But for me, he's a delight to watch play, and he's a delight to listen to if you catch him, doing commentary.
I mean, so I've only become familiar with him quite recently. I mean, I've been watching streams with commentary for a couple of years, and he always seems to be on quite a lot of the streams in terms of putting in comments and kind of plays that he thinks are correct and all these sorts of things. I did watch him commentate for the first time maybe a month ago, and I'm not quite sure which tournament it was. I'm not sure whether it was in the US or whether it was I don't think it was Monte Carlo in the summer. But I caught him doing some commentary recently, and it was fantastic. I thought he was so insightful, had a really great manner to his commentary as well. Very easy to listen to, very conversational. So I was hugely impressed by his commentary, and hopefully I'll catch more in the future as well. As he said, I mean, obviously he must be really dialed in today. He's played a 1.78 in that round against Oliver, which is, I guess we've had maybe 3 players playing below a 2 today, of which he is 1. So this should be great. I guess they're going to start in a minute.
Just waiting for them to start their match.
Just double check. So it was Matt, Cohn-Geier, and Gaz. Okay, and hi Alex. Alex O'Shagan saying that Matt commentated at the LA Open in June as well. I didn't catch that.
He might have been on the line at the Gammon Go in New Orleans. They had a lot of good players there. I don't remember if he popped in or not. He might not have. I've also seen him, type chatting on some matches which are streamed, and he'll chirp them. So you don't get to hear him, but you get to see what he types. And again, when MCG talks, I listen. It's
Yeah, we have just had a question on the stream, and I'm curious about this myself. So I'm wondering whether this is going to be adjusted or whether there's different rules for the individual round. But Al Woods has asked, with Chris Bray and Steve Sax's match, their PRs were incredibly close. So they were 2.36 and 2.44, and that's less than the 0.1 kind of buffer that was advised where the point should be split. So I'm not sure. At the moment, it's showing that Steve has got the PR point, but potentially that should be 0.5 and 0.5. Do let us know if anyone's listening who has insight into these sorts of things. Okay, and Jeff responded immediately saying, I think they're rerunning the analysis to check that before they decide. Okay, good to know. Thanks, Jeff.
By the way, I don't know about the American players, but Brit players probably all have. Chris Bray's wins series, all the positions that have been in his columns he's written or whatever, is delightful and instructive reading. I don't know how many books are in the series. It's wins of backgammon or wins of this or windmills of that. I don't know. There's wind in all of them. And they're just easy to read and fun and educational. So there's a little plug for Chris Bray.
Yeah, and I he doesn't come to many tournaments in the UK these days, but he did come to the UK Open this year, and he did some commentary with both of us, didn't he, Kent? And that was lovely. I really enjoyed commentating with him.
He did who was commentating? Were you with him in the finals of the Mega Jackpot?
It might have been. I know I commentated 1 or 2 rounds with him and 1 or 2 with you, but I don't remember what it was that I was commentating on in particular.
No, I played the finals of the Mega Jackpot, and Chris was, commentating. I was playing. I couldn't hear any of it, but I saw him afterwards, and that was he took the key position from that. It was a cube decision, and put it in his Times of London column.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so that was sort of fun. I told my daughter and son-in-law who live in London to try to find if there is such a thing as a print copy of the Times of London. Get as many copies of that column as you can. And I think they came up with 4. I'm not sure how many actual print columns are out there.
I can't even remember. It must have been years and years since I bought a newspaper.
Yeah, like what's a newspaper?
Yeah, what's a paper? Exactly right. I read the news on my phone these days. Okay, so I'm not sure. Hopefully they will be starting.
Ken, do you
shortly.
have any?
I'm sure it won't be long.
Any stories about Paul Magriel?
I got bunches of stories about Paul Magriel. There was one. Are you okay, Merrin? Is there something?
Yeah.
Okay. There was one I was about to start from before the last, before this all started. I talked about Paul's love of reading actual physical books. I'm not sure he ever discovered Kindle or anything like that. He always had books. And one time at the World Cup in Dallas, where I ran the tournament, and Paul was one of the participants. It was high stakes, went on for a week. Tremendously strong field, and Paul was, of course, there. Which World Cup is where we first started using chess clocks in backgammon. By the way, you can thank me and Bill Roberti for that, or blame me and Bill Roberti for that. So Paul comes up to me in the middle of the week. It's a dead evening. There's nothing to do, and he says, "Kent, you got a car?" This is in Dallas, and I said, "I don't have a car, but I got a van. I got a cargo van for hauling backgammon gear around." And he said, "Well, can it haul me around?" And I said, "Well, sure. Where are we going?" He said, "We're going shopping." I said, "Well, where are we going shopping?" And he says, "Well, we got to go find such and such a mall, some big mall nearby in Dallas." So okay, I can find the mall. I pile him into the van. There's only 2 seats. We find the mall. We go into the mall, and he says, "Okay, here's where we're going." And he takes me to a big bookshop, Barnes and Noble or Borders or whatever it was. And now he's like a child in a candy store. He's wandering around up and down the aisles, pulling a book out here, a book out there. It doesn't matter what the category is. Any aisle will do. He'll look at a few books, put them in, and hand them to me. And next thing I'm carrying as many books as I can carry, and he's still looking. And finally he says, "Okay, I guess we got enough." And we check out. I don't know. We had 15 books or something. Maybe it's like the spoiled rich lady coming down Saks Fifth Avenue with her chauffeur carrying all the bags. That's how I felt. We pile them all into the van. Paul sits in the passenger seat, pulls out a book, and bites on his tongue a little bit and starts flipping through. And I go, "Paul, how long are these going to last? How long is it going to take you to read all these?" And he says, "What's today?" And I said, "Well, I think it's Thursday." And he looks at me and says, "We're going to have to go back." And he's not kidding. It's the sad thing. He's not kidding. Very late in his life, he had some substance abuse problems, and we never talked openly about them, and all the time we spent together. But they were we both knew what was going on, for sure. And one day I'm talking to him on the phone, and he's in a sort of a philosophical, a little bit of a morose mood, which he rarely was. I mean, I was always cheerful, no matter how bad things got in his life. He was always cheerful. And he started saying, "I'm really having problems with my addiction." And I go, whoa, this is something new. Paul's never talked to me about something like this. And so I'm a little bit flattered. And he starts talking, and it very quickly is apparent to me he's not talking about substance abuse. His addiction to reading is costing him time from doing other things. He wants to finally get another book written. He wants to finally work on this problem set, but he keeps being distracted by having to read. And I thought that was a heartwarming when I heard it, and a heartwarming.
Voracious in his search for knowledge.
Oh, he just read and read and read. It's when I'd travel out to Vegas to see him. We played for at least a dozen years. We spent tons of time studying and playing poker. He was when I went. I was out in Vegas when I was first learning poker, somewhere in the early 2000s, and I was having trouble. There were no good books, and I was having trouble finding a teacher or figuring out how to really figure out how to play properly. And I was out for some big tournament, more kibitzing than playing. And I wandered through the, coffee shop at the hotel, and there's Paul sitting in the corner, with a ragged bag with some books in it. Oh, KG, how you doing? Nice to see you. Hey, Paul, what's happening? And I said, Paul, how the hell am I going to really get good at poker? And he said, well, you're going to work with me. And I said, well, okay, we can probably work something out. He said, but I got one condition. And this is arguably the most flattering thing he ever said to me. I said, well, what's that condition? He said, we're going to work on it together. We'll work on a fee schedule or something. However, when you get better than I am, we're going to keep working together. And I said, Paul, you got a deal. You got a deal. And we were still working on poker together when he died. So that was something. Watching Paul at the poker table was a hoot. I don't know if anybody watched any of or still does watch. I stopped after Paul died. But when he was on TV or live at the table, everything was in.
Okay, we're gonna go ahead and switch to the match now. Merrin, if you'd like to introduce John, we're gonna go ahead and start.
Yes. I was just
versus...
about to say, I can see a third face has popped up on the video. Hey, John Barnes, everybody. How's it going?
Hey, how you doing?
Fine. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, cool.
Have you been following along? Are you up to date on what the UK needs to do in this?
I just had a quick glance at the scores. I think we're getting crushed, I think. Maybe I'm mistaken there.
Certainly we need to rally in this final round. So I think where we're at the moment is the UK 55.5 and the US is 77.5. So they're 22 points up. We've got 43 points, I think, which are available. 42 points, which are available in the final round. So the UK needs to get a wriggle on if they want to get a look in. And so with that, I will dial off and watch.
Okay, Merrin, thanks a lot.
Bye.
Hi, Kent. I think we met a couple of times in the UK Open in years gone by.
Have we bumped into each other? Have we played?
We were commentating. I put a cap on to mirror you. We were commentating in the infamous match with Nikolai and what's the Irish guy? There's a bit of the dodgy action.
Oh my goodness, that's even hard to explain or have people get angry about what happened or whatever. But yeah, there was that was something.
We can't talk. We shouldn't talk too much. The lawyers might get involved, so we'll move on to the match now.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's a story worth telling, but not live and not with lawyers around. All right,
Are we commentating on this one, or is it a different one?
Well, this is our selected short subjects. We're going to, because we had all this dead time, the match hasn't started. The commentary isn't supposed to start until half an hour from now. With so many time zones, I get confused. I don't know if there's any Icelanders out there playing it at even a different time zone. I think we get this match either until it ends or the scheduled match starts. So they've agreed to start this early.
Okay.
And this is a spectacular match. I mean, Matt and Gaz Owen, we couldn't ask. Well, there's so many good matches, but we couldn't ask for better.
Yeah, I think Gaz is probably, in my opinion, the strongest UK player on this team. Yeah, person I fear the most when I play him. So.
There's Matt is, there may be stronger players on the U.S. team, but if there are, not by much. I don't know if in the ratings whether Gerry Tansey tops them or whatever, but there may be players that aren't Gerry Tansey or Matt that play as well or better than both of them do. But Matt is extremely strong and extremely sort of natural. He plays like he thinks, which I think is fun. But we can't hear that now. We just have to watch. And what
it's a good cube and a good take, and then he popped out, and he's got racing chances. But we could see a recube here if Matt rolls well the next roll or two.
Well, yeah, he's only down 2 pips, and both sides have good distribution. That extra checker on the 2 point over there for Gaz is the Gaz Stefarian is really inconsequential. So yeah, it's right now. I guess that we watched big numbers get rolled, and then the key will be, if Matt takes the lead, at what point does he redouble? And if that happens, will we need Art Benjamin and his septosauruses to explain what's happening?
I think it'll be a pip versus pip, so we wouldn't need too much from Art, I think.
Right. This is very much pips versus pips, unless Matt sticks in a double fives. That would be sort of fun. How's he done? Well,
would you play 6-4 with a 2? Yeah. Yes. Okay. Yeah.
Oh, I see. We've gone the other way. What's that? Little rolls, but has Matt taken the lead? Now he's. Well, they're
the big ones from Matt there. Yeah.
I guess Matt knows what's happening, so he's just rolling. As soon as Matt, we'll know it's time to think about doubling when Matt either
there's a pause
or goes into a huddle, and he took a short.
His fives are dreadful. So if you can avoid fives, you'd be okay.
As long as he avoids them using 6s to 4s. I mean, you don't want to force checkers to the ace point because of all the wastage that creates later on. You don't want to, the goal is to not have to bear off checkers from your ace point using 6s and 5s. Ooh, well, that's a 6 and a 5, but spreads things out. Where's our pip count? Here, stop and think here, Matt. 3, 6, 7 checkers to 5. He's 2 checkers behind. That's a big deal.
Yeah, that's not a cube yet, I don't think.
No, I don't either. On the pip count alone, he's right to be thinking about it, but I think there's just too many checkers. Now, it's clever people would now go through the the EPC and say, okay, which one's up by 3 or which one's up by 4.2 and who has a double and who has a pass. But I think just eyeballing this, Lord knows. Oh, Matt's going on pip count or extended Cohn-Geier count. This sure looks like a take, even with the pips. There's 2 checkers ahead and no wastage versus 2 checkers behind and lots of wastage. Oh, this is bad. This would be a more interesting position. Oh, look at that. Now 3s are better. Not quite.
Okay. Looks like it was a correct double and a correct take.
Go figure. Wow.
Well played.
Pips ruled. Well done, Matt. If you play an opening 2-1 this way and your opponent doesn't hit you or do anything good, you've got a nice edge. So here, something like an awkward 2-6 or that's it. Cube time.
That's it. Yeah, that's enough.
Well, maybe the 4-0 holds him back a little bit, but if it weren't 4-0, this is a cube, and as I'd say if I was talking to a doubles partner, this isn't my problem; it's my opponent's.
Yes, I would definitely let them think about it. Cube.
So is this an easy take? Well, here comes the cube in a pretty much a snap take.
Yeah.
And then then a poopy roll, and a great roll. So now Gaz is tickled pink. Does he have one left to play, or is that all of them?
That's all of them.
Okay, so yeah, that's sort of a do-nothing roll. Yeah, I actually kind of like that play. Yeah, he made the other one. There, we got the herky-jerky stream, which is a little bit annoying. Oh, look at this. Is he going to do the partial?
Yeah. Anti-positional, but probably okay. Stops White doing something.
No, this is the full sweep, but if this fails, it fails somewhat miserably.
Yeah.
All right, well, here we go. I guess he figures, having given up the cube, and now he can't split the back checker. So it's this is the most flexible play with if you can't split. And no good 6. Maybe be right to pop out of there.
Yeah, just pop out.
The strike.
There's not much duplication, but it's 2.
Absolutely. I don't think so. Look at it again, Matt. Look at it. Back up and look at it again. This is not a hard play. I don't think. I mean, he's got 11 checkers there. Put 2 up and then get out later. There you go. I think
you've got to make use of the fact you've made your ace point by putting on the bar.
Yeah. So you almost don't want to play a 2 there. I guess he did. Yeah, didn't
like it.
Computer didn't like it. What, does he have all of these to play? How many has he got left?
Yeah, the graphics of the jerkiness, as you say, is off-putting, isn't it? It's hard to tell how many he's played. Right.
Oh, he was on the bar. So he came in with 1 and he just played the last 3. Right. And Gaz keeps rolling 2s. This is maybe Gaz's game for the asking. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, that was a poor time to fan from Matt.
Yeah, and that's the end of that. Look, it says
like it was too good.
Says the double was too good. It may well be the position was so strong, given the match score, that he could hold off and see what happened later. Yeah. All right, well, that made the match closer and therefore maybe a little more fun. Well, that's something, speaking of Paul Magriel, that way back when we had no computers like this or XGs or anything else. We were the XGs, making it up and as best we could. And one of the things Paul told me early on, this is probably in the mid-1970s, that the biggest errors experts made, in his opinion, was not playing for enough gammons. The game would turn around and they'd cash it, and they wouldn't even think about playing on for a gammon. And I think I was certainly guilty there. I thought, oh, look, great time to double. No, it was actually too good. What did I talk us through?
I think probably with Gaz playing in the UK circuit a lot, probably practically it was a good redouble because a lot of people would have taken maybe.
Yeah, well, you never know. That's a thing that I don't like about playing for PR or XG or whatever, is you can make a bad double, and if your opponent takes it, you may have made a bigger blunder than he did, even though it was too good. So I mean, I admire players who it's incorporating a little bit of poker into your backgammon is part of the game.
I agree.
So it's a little bit, you get penalized for doing that by XG, and here PR actually matters. So that sort of warps the game a little bit to the detriment of everyone.
Is it a 2-to-1 ratio for this format, Kent? Is it? Because in the UBC it's 1-to-1, isn't it? Is it the same here?
No, here's 2 points for a win and one point for PR.
It's 2-to-1, okay.
And I think it's fun to have, some events that include PR as part of it. But for the most part, I think there should be less focus on that. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, the most fun backgammon to watch, and in my opinion, to play, are complicated games where it's impossible to have a low PR for either player. So, you know, bring out the American Jim Pascoe gets seen a lot. He's getting a little long in the tooth, but still can play very, very strong backgammon. But he's always played because he likes lots of checkers back. And Magriel liked lots of checkers back. You know, not necessarily back games, just, you know, as Magriel put it, he had these little finger gestures. I like positions with checkers crawling all over the board. And he'd do sort of like that.
Yeah.
You know? And PRs go way down when you have positions like that. But they're more fun. They're way more complicated. They separate the men from the boys. You can't memorize or learn a few rules to get through those.
Okay, 3-1. What has he played so far?
Well,
that's the position, right? Okay.
Is this clean?
Yeah, I don't mind display. You're not scared if you hit back.
It's got to be something. What's that? He can't make that play with a man on the bar. Well, I'm not sure what happened there.
Misclick. That's a good return.
Okay, this is not quite a checkers crawling all over the board thing. This is this is we can't hide. We can run, but we can't hide. Well, that's a good. I like that. I didn't see that. This is just Matt trying to scramble home.
Yeah.
Matt tries to scramble home, and Gaz is too far forward with his back checkers. He kind of needs to back up one to the 24 point. Of course, the first thing he wants to do is just hit something. I liked what was the original play Matt made. It involved leaving the checker on the 16 point.
Yeah, that's right. It didn't involve hitting. I would hit though. I would.
The cute thing here to notice is the play may differ widely if Gaz had 3 checkers on the midpoint.
Yes.
Back one of those checkers from his 6 point to the midpoint. Now a hit, and he still holds the midpoint. In the position we're actually looking at, if Matt hits and leaves the 2 blots in back, then a rehit is going to cause Gaz to yield his midpoint and potentially yield much of the outfield to Matt. This is a surprisingly, look at that. He did the fewest shots, got hit, but so what? Now, it might actually be right to this. Well, building the bar is not a bad idea. And dance. And we want to slot in our 5 and 4. I think maybe 4 down and slot the 4.
Seems reasonable.
You can do some
duplicate a little bit with the 4s.
He can do a cute play and make the 16 point. Here he's just, this play just keeps everybody in. Yeah, that's what I was talking about. There's the cute play. I'm not sure you really want to give up the 20 point quite yet. I might give up 21, but maybe not the 20.
Yeah. He would have hit back with any 1s and 2s with relish.
Gladly. Yes, gladly. Now we got an outfield holding game. That's what this looks like it's going to boil down to. Matt scrambles this blot home, which he can't quite do, but he can lift it with a 2 and dump the 6.
No,
this is an interesting play. I kind of like this. If he gets away with this, his game will be a lot easier to play. And plan B is the dump play.
I don't like that.
It sure looks funny. I'm not sure how easy it is to bring home.
Double slot?
Yeah, absolutely. That's exactly thematic, exactly what he wants to do. And look at this. He's just I don't know, Matt. Maybe look, did our 6-1 get dinged?
No.
Oh, that was a different 6-1.
Oh, 6-1 the earlier one, yes.
Yeah.
But the dumping looks like it was reasonable plays. Yeah. Well, if you know you're going to roll, if you know you're going to roll big like that, then you can dump all you like. Right.
Now where are we? Yeah, that's it. This is sort of cute. The race is not 100% won. This may qualify. Got to get it in. I got it in once yesterday. What Kit Woolsey calls a GBU position. You can win good, you can win bad, and you can win ugly. You win good by hitting the correct shot, which is certainly possible here. You win good by hitting a combination shot, which is certainly possible here if he hits from the 21 point to the 12. Or you can win ugly, which is winning the race.
Oh, it's a bad crunching number. Oh, dear me.
Well, yeah, look at this. It doesn't look like so much is blocked. Does it do him any good in the ugly? Only a little bit.
Hoping to remake the 6, maybe.
This doesn't play.
Oh, dear me.
This doesn't play. He can play it safe.
God.
In for a penny, in for a pound. I mean, what's this?
This is a lot uglier than Eli Wallach.
Yeah. I don't think he's going to do that. He might do that. There's something to be said for. I mean, Gaz has to move. There's something to be said for the crazy break your 6 point play.
Yeah, leaving 2 blocks looks a bit too much.
Gaz has to move. I mean, what's plan B to slam one to the ace point? This two blots here can't be right. He's only got a 3 point board. Gaz has a 4 point board. If this goes wrong, it goes wrong spectacularly. So I think it's either the one blot like this or a fool in his 6 point or soon parted. That's an old Woolseyism. A fool in 6 point or soon parted.
Oof. You'd never see that in the 70s, would you?
Well, you wouldn't see this position at all in the 70s. I'm leaning toward the fool in his 6 point. I think this just turns around awfully easily. A hit dance. And
it doesn't really make it 100% safe next draw this play, does it? So there's not that much of an upside.
He did it. And when push came to shove, that was it. Look, this is basically forced. The back checkers can't move, so he has to do this. And
okay, cover the block.
Yeah, I think so. Again, Gaz has to play first, so the white checkers aren't going to stay put.
Yeah.
And having that 3rd point in your board and no extra blot helps a lot if you're hit.
Okay, he's got a 5 point board.
Yeah, definitely. The checker out there is not a blot, it's a wrestler. You want to wrestle? Oh, look at this. This does nothing.
Dear. Yeah.
Play with one blot, get hit? No, we'll see. If he doesn't play with one block, what does he do?
He has to play with one block, surely. 20 shots otherwise.
If this goes on, even if he's not hit, the trick will be if he's not hit like this, how does Gaz position his?
Oh, this is interesting.
Yeah, very much. You can see it coming. Does he do this play, or does he open myself? Yeah, that's not the wide open. I like the other one. Well, here we go again.
He can't miss again, can he? Gaz never misses more than once in a game.
Oh, well, there was another way to do this. Could he have come in with a 6 and put the 5 behind him? What's the starting position here?
Yeah, this play. Yeah, you could do this.
Yeah.
I think it's slightly fewer shots, isn't it?
I like 2s and 8s. This also cleans up.
He misses again.
And it's not out of the woods. Now Matt needs a 6 without a 5 or a 4.
He'll take 2 small ones though, I suppose. Pick and pass.
Yeah. Pick and pass is good.
Mm-hmm.
Double 6s works. Well, most doubles work. All the doubles work. Double 1s, even double 1s. So there's a doubles.
What a lovely roll.
Check her off. Wow. Well, this was exciting. It's not over yet.
No.
Where's the? Oh, I see the.
Oh, we missed a few.
Yeah, the screen froze somehow. It skipped it. So no gammon, no nothing. Just a simple win.
Yeah.
A big 2 points.
Well, it's a huge swing there. Yeah.
Other thing, and this may be a good example, that there's too much of for everybody, obviously except for Matt here, there's too much of a tendency when you get ahead to be too shy about making initial doubles. You still have to win. If you're way ahead, you can get a bit shy, but a little bit ahead, go ahead and double. I mean, the 2 he lost earlier, he was ahead 4-0 and made a not intimidated double. And this he's leading and made a not intimidated double. And I like that. He's pushing to try to win.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't tiptoe through the finish line. You've got to sprint through it.
Well, pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, a million years ago, Mike Sienkiewicz, opining on the nature of backgammon, I think wrote somewhere, backgammon is a game of aggression, and the aggressive player usually wins. Now, that might just be reflecting his own mental state, but he lived by that and still does.
I agree with it. It's a game of war, isn't it? It's, like all board games, really.
Yeah.
Chess. Right, he's got to make the 5 point. It'll be a market loser. So is this a...
Well, what's our pip count? Pip count, you're behind, but not by a lot. It's a little annoying that there's only 1 checker back. With 2 checkers back, this is like double pass. With 1 checker back, this might be a situation. Well, first of all, is this an easy take?
I think it's too easy. I think if the score was closer, I would send it. But I think it's too easy a take. I think. Yeah,
well, I'm inclined to agree with you. So I think you got it right, and so did Matt. Now the race in that he rolled a joker, and it's even though he didn't make his 5 point, he's probably lost his market.
Yeah, I think so.
Well, you hate to let him get the 4 away. It's like fingernails on a chalkboard. When my opponent reaches 4 away, I hate it. Yeah. And I don't think he can take this. He's behind in all. He did. This seems a little rich.
Yeah.
Okay, there's 3 shots.
Well, he's probably thinking of the 3 away, 4 away not being much difference. But
maybe so. Maybe so. And lo and behold, nice take. So now it's a close race with Gaz holding the cube with a great deal of incentive to want to. It's effectively a dead cube if he redoubles. I mean, holding a 4 cube, leading 6-2. Matt's only going to redouble when he's 95% to win or something.
Yeah.
A number which you can't reach in the real world race. It's only find it on Art Benjamin's blackboard. Somewhere along the way, we got a double 5s by Matt. And
it just brings it to the close.
Doing anything. Well, there's a few pips. He's not out of it yet. Got a couple more pips back. Ooh, that's too big. Got 24 pips back. Now, okay.
Whoa! He didn't stop, did he? But
stop, Mr. Gaz Teferian. It's whoa! Well, that put the kibosh on that. Now he needs a 2-1 to stay alive. It's not a 2-1. Boy, zippity doodah. There was probably some stuff to talk about there, but the herky jerky feed cost us.
Yeah. I presume Gaz was never close to a Greek cube, but he did play immediately, so I must have realised he was nowhere near. But I would have had a look myself.
Hey, look at how the modern. And I hate it. The modern XG looks at the match score and doesn't like the 2 down and slot.
Oh, I always play 2 down and slot.
Yeah, I can tell you what XG can do with that.
Yeah.
You put it in its central processing unit sideways is what it can do.
I'm pretty sure Mitch, you told me once that on rollouts it's correct to any score, I think you said.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. Wouldn't surprise. But the theory there is when you've got the big lead, you want to split the back checkers. More racing, more anchoring. fewer gammons both ways, but pretty much equal equity. And at this point, Matt's more than happy to win 1 point at a time rather than risk losing more to win more. You know, single points are vastly more valuable for Matt, so he wants to reach holding games and races and no chances of gammons.
I think the computer thinks he should have hit with a 2-2. He seemed to eschew the hit.
Whoa! Wow! It cost a bunch.
Yeah.
Well, there goes his once great PR, but maybe we have more fun watching. Look, this is a great shot by Gatz.
So he could hit. He could hit 2, couldn't he? But I think he'll make the 4 probably.
Yeah, it just doesn't. If he hits, he just doesn't have a good way to back it up. I mean, he could hit and run around to the 10-point or something. Hit and make the 4-point, leave all those checkers stacked. Somehow,
he had to hit. He can't leave 20-odd shots.
Look, both of them rolled jokers, and both of them got red blobs as a reward. That's playing 24 hours straight, late at night into the second day. High stakes.
So. Yeah.
And Knack Ballard would say, if you roll a joker, do you have to play it? Well, in this case, both players apparently rolled jokers and shouldn't have played them.
That's the trouble with finals in general. Tournaments, they always end up at the end of the match, end of the tournament when everyone's tired. If they have them at the beginning, it's far better play.
Yeah. No, good double fours are, I maintain, I've got zillions of positions in my little hidden whoppers collection. Double fours seem to be the hardest jokers to play because there's always a whole bunch of different options and they all look good.
Yeah.
Picking the most beautiful is, maybe you have to be bribed in some way. Meanwhile, what kind of a mess do we have here?
He's a bit unlucky there with the 4-1, wasn't he?
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't. This seems so passive, but everything else may just be suicidal. Okay, this looks like it's roll 3 of the game or something. Oh, what is it? Roll 5.
Well, stepping up is going to be hit for sure. Pressure's on. Flunks.
Well, is it time to tempo hit? And the answer is yes. Whoa, this is nice.
Yeah, Matt's got this, I think.
Well, that helped. Remember the match score here is...
Yeah, 3 away, many away. Some gammons, you just don't cube.
Yeah, generally, a good general rule.
Yeah. If it gets to a race, then fair enough, you can cube whatever. Oh, good roll.
Now we can look at the other side cubing.
Yeah.
And maybe we're there. But we're definitely
I think so.
there.
Yeah, he's got to cube this. Yeah.
Are we quickly done, but are we in any danger of this might be too good or not? Maybe not. Maybe
No, I think I think we'll pass this at this score.
Yeah, I think so too. Well, there's some.
He wins a lot of games though, but
he does. He does, but my goodness. One of the sayings for when you have a big lead in a race, which is worth thinking about, is you're the one with the big lead and you're getting doubled. And it sounds like a stupid but simple and often accurate rule. If it's a solid normal money double, then it's a pass.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if it would be a solid money take, doesn't matter. If it's a solid money double, then go ahead and pass if you're ahead, 3 to go, 8 to go or something. And that's what he did. Whether that was a money take or not, I don't know. But as you said, there was still plenty of play left in it. It was just very, very dangerous on the gammon side. Yeah,
yeah. Do you hit with double one after a 4-1 slot?
Often it depends on my mood. I hate to do it. I hate to do it, and then they tell me, "Oh, you idiot! You should have done it." And maybe it changes based on Match score, I mean, you're supposed to hit with 3-1. If you're supposed to hit with 3-1, then you're probably supposed to hit with double one. It just somehow feels like a big waste. It may, and 4-1 is such a easy to clean up if you don't hit. That maybe that's what, if it had been a 5-1 down.
5-1, and you just make the board, yeah.
Yeah. So that's probably what it boils down to.
Mm.
And how do we get here? This is fun. We're starting to get to a checkers crawling all over the place game.
Yes. The last 5. You'd like to leave a checker probably on the bar point to make it, but
yeah, I agree. It's the exact same thing I was thinking, and that's what he did.
Yeah.
And I think if we don't hit it, what do we do?
Yeah, you have to.
It feels funny in a checkers crawling everywhere potential position to still have 5 checkers on your midpoint and 5 checkers on your 6 point. Just doesn't feel right. This gives a slightly better distribution, but then it gives your opponent a free hand to do whatever he wants.
Yep.
And 5 points probably right here.
Yeah. It's the hardest one to do, so do that one.
And it's a big step.
Yeah.
And Matt's got the right idea here, I think, and that's just run. Plan B is to hit 2 and try to reestablish something that way. And maybe squeeze the toothpaste tube forward and force those white checkers further down the tube and not have them stuck in the very back.
Coming to the bar like that just gives White an easy way to start priming him. But
yeah,
that would hit 2. Yeah.
Now you got to do something intelligent. Well,
step up and
yeah. I think just make your point and count yourself lucky and go from here. And 3s and 4s are enter numbers and hit numbers all at the same time, and this does not. Well, it does do something. This makes the anchor, brings the checker down, and moves 1 to the 6 point. Sort of spread them out. I don't think you really.
No, I just brought the 11 point.
Yeah. Look, it got a little bit of a warning flag there. A fun idea, but I think you can do it. You can do it more safely. Ooh. Now, what do you think? Are we going to do this? Is it timed? Can we hold everything? I think he's probably right to do this, something like this.
Yeah. Just have a phantom 2 anchors.
Yeah, if you play this way, then you're probably going to fairly soon get off of the anchor unless you've got something better to do. 1s and 6s and 9s, the convenient 5-4 hit. That would be fun.
Okay, important roll coming up.
Very much so.
Oh, not good.
Yeah, meat jerk. You better have the block covered. I'm not 100% sure because you don't have a lot of spare checkers to play with. 1, 2.
Okay, I think he leaves it slotted and then cubes if he doesn't get hit.
What do you do?
Step up to the
21.
I'll step up to 21.
Yeah, I think I like that. Well spotted. Yeah, that's the
alternative. Yeah, I'm not sure what's best.
Well, if you get hit, you kind of want the.
You want this, yeah.
You want this. If you don't get hit, you kind of want the other. So that's what he's looking at. We know what he's thinking about, and he's going to. By the way, some of these things, if XG gives it a green bar, I'd wait for a rollout.
Yeah.
The XG mobile or the lobotomized XGs get some of these seemingly anti-positional plays way wrong.
Yeah, I'm surprised Gaz didn't leave it slotted. It's more his style to play aggressively like that. So that just surprised me.
Oh, this is a whole lot of nothing.
Yeah, this is garbage.
I wonder if it's right to make
it 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jew?
Possibly, yeah. Well, they don't like it, but I think it's reasonable.
XG thought it was questionable. Is that what green means, questionable?
I'm not sure the colours. I don't play on heroes.
Yeah, and I think So somebody explained that the green was a mild error and knew that, 0.03 to 0.05 or something like that.
Right.
But I don't remember the colors either. Yellow was a little bit bigger, and red is you don't want to do that. So what have we got here?
He's got 2 more ones to play. He's thinking whether it should step up to the 14, I suppose, but I don't think there's much in it, really.
Yeah, one thing he's thinking about is what's happening if look at Matt's leading the race.
Mm.
I mean, he's got a basically insurmountable lead in the race, and how hard is it to get that loose blot home? I mean, if he gets that loose blot home, even at this match score, can you take?
Probably not.
How much value is there in playing a 3-point game with zero racing chances?
I don't think you should leave any blots there to give them a chance. I think you should just. No, I wouldn't do that either. I'd just make the 14. No, I'd probably just make the 11. That's what I'd do. You don't need to give them the superb landing spot of the what's it called, the 15-point.
Take a look at this. Take a look at this plan. What happens if you block his double fours? Like by making
fours are his worst number, aren't they? Yeah.
So what happens if you make the 11 and he rolls double fours?
Yeah.
Everything blows up. That by itself may make it right to make the 11.
Yeah. Give the opponent a really bad root number.
Yeah, big root number.
Good thinking.
Thank you. I think it was the other interpretations to the term root number, but I brought it into the lexicon from back in the 1970s for a number which cracks a solid position, like a root cracking a sidewalk. There are other interpretations that I did not intend, but when I first coined it, and others may have as well, it may not be only mine. A root number is one which sets it up so your opponent's seemingly solid concrete position suddenly cracks in the middle, and blocking double fours there would have created a root number. And I want to bet you that that's why it got the red blob, because how else do you win? There's a position where you're in great shape in one roll. Meanwhile, it didn't go so well.
Yeah, the cube was taken, and we're in Gammon City.
All the while we were telling naughty jokes or something.
Now, Matt was forced to expose another block, and Gaz got it from the roof.
So this happened. Wow.
This will tighten up the match somewhat. 8-7.
Check out the root number. This is MCG Gaz. Anything in yourself what game it is or whatever. So the score was 8-3. Look at double ones. This is notes to myself.
I wouldn't do this. I'd just have left it there. Whoops.
What happened?
Well, Matt was rolled a poor anti-joker, but I don't think Gaz, sorry. But he was worried about being hit off the ace, but I don't think Matt's prime would have lasted even if he got hit.
Yeah, I don't either. This feels, whatever happened here. Look, oh my goodness!
Wow. Good roll. Oh yeah, got away with that.
The lobotomized computer didn't like the double fives.
No.
Now he can go ahead and win a gammon because of it. Matt's pretty much toast here. Boy, this is going back and forth. Not enough. Need 2 or 3 doubles here.
How many US players would ordinarily have got in this team that weren't available?
Oh, I have no idea. There are a number of very, very good U.S. players. They went. It gets a little bit ticklish because people get angry and feelings get hurt and stuff. But some powers that be, assigned. I think heavily based on BMAB ratings. a certain number of players for the team, and then there was some sort of online competition to round out the team.
What would you do the 4-1 here? Would you hit 2 and go for the score 4 away, despite the fact you're outboarded? Maybe this is right.
Well, what do you do if you don't?
Well, step up and 17-16, but
yeah,
just gives Black a free hand. Oh, 13-8. 13-8 looks like the computer likes that one.
I don't know the answer. I'd have to stare at it for a little while longer. I mean, push comes to shove, it was sort of fun to put the team together the way they did. I don't entirely disapprove, but there's a bunch of players that maybe the PR isn't quite as good as some of these other guys, but would be much more exciting to watch them play.
And maybe better match players. Deliberately not playing XG sometimes. Yeah. I think the UK. I think they had a little online tournament, but if you were a GM, you got a free pass. That's how it works. But I don't know. Right, it's a better back game, the 5-2.
Yeah, it may turn into he may have to make a choice between is it a back game or is it a holding game? And where's I guess there's just too much work. See, the trick here is that Gaz may be able to play enough roles without anything going wrong that Matt's going to have to worry about giving up the 20 point. I mean, he almost has to already.
I think if Matt's had the 4 point made, I think that was a take. This might be a pass though without broken. He might never make the 4 point.
This is a tricky one. Part of this is also, I think he's going to hope for something good to happen, and then probably fall back to the 23 point.
Yeah. No, I don't let that one go at the score.
Plan B is to if you're really at gammon save, and he sort of is at gammon save. Okay.
Lovely roll.
Yeah. Now leaving the 8 shot.
Yeah.
And now Matt's going to be probably forced to give up the 20. He can hang on maybe one more roll, so let's give it up now with a hit. Whoa! My goodness! Now we got to hit back, or this gets very nasty. No.
Oh, that's not the Gaz Jafari I know. You would have hit that. Double 4.
No kidding. Oof. Yeah,
right, so that's doesn't cover.
This is not bad. This freezes him on the ace point.
Yeah.
And if he dances, you got 2s and 3s to cover the 4, and 4s, 5s, and 6s to run away. So, yeah, that's the gammon state. This is what he's doing.
It's gammon save, that's the gammon save. But you're still leaving. I don't know. I wouldn't. I'd risk it. I think you've got to play to win and make it. Try and make.
Also with the open 20 point, it's not like if you get hit, you're dead.
Yeah.
I like this. You like this?
Yeah, I like this.
Yeah. Look at ace 6.
Still can't cover.
That's annoying. And still look at ace 6. Wonder what he sees there. He sees something. There's something. There's something.
The clever play would be 5-4 to give you 1s, 2s, and 3s good numbers.
Oh, and it would have been brilliant. Yes. Okay, what do we got here? 5, 6. Oh, this is not nonsense. Yeah, maybe take this opportunity to slot.
Yeah. He might not get past you easily.
That's also true.
Yeah, it's not worth just two fewer shots, is it?
Yeah. All right, now the 2 point is hard to gammon. And it's probably bad things can happen with a series of 5s. See UK Open Mega Jackpot 2025. Got myself into a pickle by rolling too many 5s against an anchor.
SKG's point anchor.
All right.
Yeah, should have given him 5s to play. I think the computer says.
No, this is probably no gammon and probably no win. Where does that leave us? 1-0 to 3. Back in the 70s, no one knew what a match equity table was. Well, in the later 70s they did. The first match equity table was constructed by Kit Woolsey and published by me for 5-point matches.
Yeah, I've got it. I've got it back there.
There you go. Paul, I can go find it too. I think I can find it in under 15 seconds.
And I still use it actually. I don't use the modern XG match equity tables. I can still quote the old Kit Woolsey ones. It's not that dissimilar. Okay, single game. Gaz has come back very well. It's taken Kent longer than 15 seconds, whatever he said. He has a bigger mansion than he thought. Is there a lag here or something?
I had too big a pile of stuff to dig through.
I'm just saying, that's the one I've memorized. I haven't learned the more recent one.
There's the
yeah, I recognize that. Yeah, go on, try it again.
Yeah. Some oops, my stupid computer doesn't want to show it to you. There it is.
Yeah.
Back in with the champions. There you go.
Yeah.
This was there a date on here? Just a year. What's the year? April 1983. And Kit Woolsey put that together. He had he used a computer or something. And nothing exciting is happening. I haven't missed anything. Woolsey's chart. It's even called Woolsey's chart. Chart. We didn't call it a match equity table.
Yeah, you should have
studied the chart.
What's the word? Should have patented. Yeah.
Yeah. No kidding. We could be rich in another way. A few strategy pointers for playing in the last chance, which means short matches.
Right.
Most part, playing backgammon in the last chance is just like playing backgammon in the other tournament event. That's wrong, by the way. It's mostly not the same. But the big difference is because the matches are so short, doubling strategy is often different than it would be in a long match or at money play. Yeah, absolutely. Who knew that in 1982? And Goulding. All right, let's have more fun here. Yeah, particularly against only one checker back. You want to cover all 4 quadrants of the board and make it hard for your opponent to get away. And that's what this does. No matter where Gaz puts a checker, that point is under attack. Funny way to look at it, but that's the way you should look at
it. I don't think Gaz should be keeping this. Oh, 6 sides are good, right? Right.
Yeah, there. He found a place that, and well, now you definitely want to just play safe, one way or another. I mean, not safe. I mean, you want to leave the block.
Leave the block. Stop the 4, maybe.
Yeah, safe was the wrong word. Oh, that's cute.
I think I'd bring 2 down and you got priming options as well as everything else.
Yeah, I agree. It's not like you got a bunch of checkers stacked up on the 6 point that you're unstacking either.
Right. Well, he's got priming threats. He's ahead in the race by 20 odd pips, isn't he? So I'd put the match on the line here.
Well, I don't blame you. Is this? Yeah, he did not. Now he can very quickly get too good. Is this too good? Can Matt take this? He passes. He needs a full 25%. Gammon's thrown away.
What is best?
No, it's sort of annoying.
Ooh.
He's not going to do that. He's going to make the ugly.
Flamboyant, that one.
Or the ugly. Oh, look at this. Maybe this may be the right play. Throw away the ugly expert play, which he's about to show us. Ah, boy, that's.
I know that's not Gaz's style, but he's he's fighting himself here. He probably knows this is correct, but hates to do it.
Absolutely, remember the great late great Malcolm Davis, U.S. Backgammon Hall of Fame. I used to play a lot of chouette with him, and if you made a play like this, he'd look down at the board and he'd say, "My boy," in his little Texas accent, "My boy, that play just hurts my eyes." Oh, that play just hurts my eyes. I think it hurt Gaz's eyes too, but he didn't know what else to do.
Oh, we have a shot though.
Yeah, well, this is pretty easy. You can maybe it isn't easy, because if you bring the 6 down, where's your damn 4?
Yeah, it looks.
You're here.
But that's the point you want to make.
That play hurts my eyes too. Where's the cube still in the middle?
Yeah. Again, a poor roll.
There's no escaping this ugliness.
Just when he thinks it's safe,
yeah,
he's a sigh of relief when this happens.
No escaping it. The repeating route. You've
got to give the extra 2 shots. I think you can't put 5 checkers on the same point. No, it doesn't like it.
I didn't like that. Well, again, I'm not. I want to disassociate from XG until we've got a higher level analysis. I mean, what is it suggesting? Breaking the 6 point or something? I don't. Who knows? Look at this. If you hit with a 6, you sort of don't have a 4. Everybody's what's the chess term? Zugzwang.
Yeah. Yeah.
Compelled to move when you don't want to. So 6 is fine. Then you don't want to play your 4.
Okay. 9 pips down, but I think you got to send it over. Got to send it over, mate. I'm sure he will.
Can you take it?
Nope,
he didn't.
not.
So there you go.
Yeah, I'd have thought about it a bit more. Yeah.
Somebody double.
Right. I think we'll see a doubles here soon.
Yeah. Woolsey's analysis again back in the late 1970s.
Made a lot of sense. Yeah.
Because if you don't double him on the open roll, he's going to double you. Get it over with.
Yeah.
Now
I've had to explain that to so many people over the years, over 30 years. A lot of people just don't get it.
No, I've been working on it for 50 years. It's the same thing. And honestly, again, going back into the dark ages, that's a Woolseyism. Well, if you don't double him, he'll double you. Therefore, you should double. Not sure exactly what sense that makes, but it's that's the theory. People go into tie themselves in knots trying to prove why doubling the opening roll when it's right.
They make more mistakes than their opponent normally.
Yeah. And they finally have managed to prove that it's right by 0.00062 or something. One way or the other. I don't remember which way.
Okay, at least we can get the back ones moving now. Do you need to hit just 2 down maybe?
Yeah, I think he's supposed to hit, isn't he?
Well, definitely.
Whoa, here we go.
Yeah.
Now I think you want to squeeze him forward. You're not necessarily blitzing him, but don't you want to squeeze him off the ace point?
Yeah, I'd have hit again. Sometimes, although it's like the gammon play, it's still wins more games, I would think.
Yeah. This is a squeeze the toothpaste tube, squeeze them from the back to the front, and then run past them. You don't have to close them out, although close them out is fine.
Do you leave the double 4?
Well, you go. Watch out for double 4, and watch out for your own double 6s. Now it's just double 6s. And now it's nothing. This
No,
is.
I don't think you peel off the 4, I think.
Well, I'm not sure if you're going to pre-clear.
Oh, the 5. I'm not sure
the 5. Yeah, I would have looked at that.
Yeah, I think as I said, I think they're very tired and playing quickly. We'll get it over with.
Probably a known position. I don't know if they may change depending on your opponent's home board or something.
Right, he wants to stay on the bar. He does.
Now
no shots. All right.
That's the end of that,
guys. What were the PRs? It wasn't what the PRs were. I think Matt's probably won that one.
No,
so 2-1 to the Brits, I think. Yeah, 2-1 to the
blots out there. There you go. Yeah, that's too many for the Gazstafarian.
Yeah. Okay, so are we going to be sent somewhere else now?
Well, I think it may be time for this was the originally scheduled main event, but they left us with Gaz until it was over, which I think was a good idea.
Yeah, me too. The end of the games are usually the most interesting. Right.
I mean,
so Ollie doing very well here.
No offense.
And he's going to playing just too good. Yeah. We could see a 9-1 here if he's not careful.
Wow. Yeah, nice. I was about to say, with no offense to my good buddy Gerry Tansey, he's the most unlikely backgammon grandmaster I've ever seen. The guy just looks like not like a professional games player, but he's.
What profession would you describe him to looking like?
Hillbilly.
I hope he doesn't mind you saying that live on air.
I don't think he will. I mean, he's a good-looking hillbilly. You know, put him on, what's the U.S. show, the Duck Dynasty or something like that. You know, he is a charming guy, and unaffected, backgammon genius. I mean, he just somehow makes all kinds of really good plays, seemingly effortlessly. I mean, there's a bunch of players I like to watch and a bunch of players I like to talk backgammon with. But arguably the top 2 on the U.S. team are Matt Cohn-Geier and Gerry Tansey. So we're
what a
I know almost all these guys very well, I've spent a lifetime talking to most of them. So what do we got? We got potential to turn this into an actual front game, but mostly can we hang on to our timing for an ace game or get very, very lucky?
We're going to fight for the 5 point.
Yes, this is the play to win. It's also
he's a brave player, is Ollie. Oh dear. Okay.
Yeah, if you're already likely gammon, you're not losing too many more gammons by getting hit, and you might buy some valuable time. If you come in on the 4. Oh, there's a frozen number. That's too bad. There you go. Do it.
Oh.
All of a sudden, great shot. Great shot. Still a viable game. Well, once your opponent is bearing off, your 1-4 game isn't particularly effective, but it's better than nothing. In a weird way, your opponent has pre-cleared his 4 point. So if you don't get that shot on the 6 point or maybe the 5 point, all of a sudden, all of your opponent's checkers are either off or on his 2 or 3 points. And you want to build your reception committee quickly because big shots come right now. So this looks fine to me. And that's safe. And that's, I think so, yeah. I mean, you can build the bar and shuffle 6 to 4, but I think you're supposed to slot.
Oh, nice one.
I know what I talked about. Oh, look at this. Yeah, this actually, 4-1 doesn't leave a shot if you hold the point.
Yes.
So you're sort of forced into, this looks like you're giving something up, but you're actually you're getting a shot. You're
creating something. Yeah.
On the other hand,
that's the trade-off.
There's double ones.
Yeah.
Oops.
So it's going to be gammons the other way, maybe.
Well, now we gotta make sure we don't get backgammon, but not yet. Okay, well, can you afford it? He's looking at whether he should cover or just get.
No, I would come out. I'd come out.
And if you come out, do you come out with the lead checker? Or do you come out with one of the back checkers? And
no, the lead checker. I'd leave the 24 point.
I agree with you, but I like that idea. Good play.
Decent PRs here, both playing Grandmaster level. Okay, so now double two doesn't leave a shot, whereas the other way, if you keep it, double two's a shot. So maybe that's one reason.
Yeah, double twos is oops. Now this is easy at what are we looking at? Yeah, the score is low.
Yeah.
At double match point, it's actually maybe right to hold the ace point. He rolls one ace.
Yeah.
And then you get him in the coup classique. Of course, as long as you've got a lot of timing, this can be
right. Okay.
This can easily be fun.
Make the bar points, and you could see a huge turnaround.
Yeah. This sort of doesn't go anywhere. You're stepping on your own toes here. Yeah, I guess you have to do that. Hold your breath a little. 3 or 5. There's a 3. And it's
praying for
good. That's
a
nice
good play. Yeah.
And you need him to get in with a 1 and then roll another 1 separately. Real question. Well, he's never gonna close it up. You know, there's the old close it up where you bleep it up, but this one you can't bleep up. So you
looks like Gerry's never going to roll a 1 as well. So.
Yes. You can still catch him on the 1 with like 2-1, 3-1, 4-1 when it comes to bearing off.
Mm.
So in a weird sort of way, well, he's forced to take checkers off, so that's it.
Yeah, you didn't get the interesting end game we were hoping for.
Look at this. Can he actually do it on power? No, probably not. Gerry just needs to roll like 7 pips. 20 pips is enough. Okay. We almost had a lot of fun there.
Yeah, almost.
Well, it's become so routine as compared to a million years ago to just fight, not just fight for the 5 point, fight for the 4 point in the opening.
Mm.
So, I mean, we used to be terrified that some of the early computers just played 2, stack them up. And if you look at the wrong positions, you know, XG will be playing safe, stodgy looking plays, but much more often it finds the crazy wild plays than humans do these days.
Mm.
So I'm sort of a big fan. I think they've done a pretty good job with it. Not perfect, but pretty darn good.
And it might get the improved version soon if.
Yeah, interesting to see what that. I mean, there's clear flaws with the extreme back game snake positions.
Yeah.
It's completely at sea, and if it's completely at sea there, how much does that affect some earlier positions?
Mm-hmm.
I think unless you set up special positions, I think the answer is not much. But it might. And if it gets to where it can play all positions well, you may see some slight shifts in some of the opening plays.
Yeah. Okay, that's interesting. Playing 6-1. Not sure it's necessary. Yeah, what's wrong with this? This is fine.
Oh, look at that yucky roll. Oh, I see. He can make the 9 point. That's way undervalued point, the 9 point.
Mm.
We thumbed our nose at it a bit in the vast old days, but it just pops up being worth a lot more than we used to think.
Do you button up here?
Yeah, I hate it. Yeah, I probably do, but right, you're playing for your opponent to roll a 6. You get a basket of goodies if he rolls a 6, but if he doesn't, you better get back in.
Mm. Okay, this is must be a cube, surely.
Well, he's got the 4 in a row over there. Pip count's surprisingly close. What's the big threat? The big threat should build the 4 point.
Build a 4, build bar.
Yeah, bar point, not necessarily. I mean, well, better question here: Are you taking this?
I think because of the 4 prime, you definitely take, but I think it's a Q. So.
He didn't double. All right, well, good. I think you're right. A lot of players would double and pass here. I mean, non-master level players might both double and pass, and the position's not that well developed. That looks like a good number.
That's a great number. Just makes the bar. Yeah, wonderful.
Now we need a 4. And now you can't attack your 4 point without giving up your 7 or 8. Yeah. And is the 4 in a row more than you may think? Are we taking?
Taking, I think. I'm taking.
Yeah, let's see. Yeah, he didn't take Gerry long.
Yeah.
The trick here is White's Oliver's advanced position is sort of frozen. And
that's interesting that he didn't hit. Yeah, I was automatically looking at the hit, but maybe that's right, just to jump out. Yeah.
This is a bad roll by Gerry. He really wanted to make the 21 point.
Hits.
Yeah, that's a hit, but there may be counterplay. Now we get in with our 4-1 or 4-2. Ooh, yuck.
Yeah. Awful timing, and he's got to move up to another anchor soon, otherwise he's just
almost any 2 or 3 he'll step up. Staying back is certain death. Mm-hmm. That's neither. Well, he's got a little better reception committee for when he sticks his head in the noose next turn.
I would risk the 2-5, 3-5 hits here. I would make the 10 and slot the 9. So
yeah, I like that. Yeah. I like the 10. You know, the 2-6 or 3-6 forces Gerry to smash his block a bit.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry. I might still be stepping up here. I don't know. Well, too late now. Well, yeah. All right. Now it's a highly improbable ace point game. You want to get all 3 of the outfield checkers in so you don't have to play 6s. Might even have been right to bring 2 in last time and not make the point. We're squeezing blood out of a turnip. I mean, really, Oliver just needs to roll small, and Gerry's going to go, I think I mentioned it yesterday, but, the American player Ray Fogerlund often will cackle in his opponent's face. How do you like your peanut butter? Crunchy? It's vaguely amusing. The double 4s is pretty big, so we could survive the crunch here. Nice little number.
Yeah.
Look how we should have tried to eat that last 4. I'm telling you, 2 rolls ago, we might have been better to not make the 3 point, but to kill one of the kill that 6. Now 5-3 is a pretty big number because all the 6s are dead. All right, hang on for one more roll. 2-1, excellent. Now 6s and 5s are there. You just slide it along, slip it on the ice. There we go. Yeah, look at this. Oh my goodness.
I believe he
my goodness. All kinds of play now.
Wow.
All right. Now this is
amazing.
Do you keep the 6s blocked? Well, he did. He's getting coverage as fast as he can. I can't give you an instant answer to how to play these. The knee-jerk reaction is to do what he just showed us. And to have it
I spread them out and don't worry about the joke.
And the question is, notice, by the way, that if you leave double 6s and he rolls it, you get a shot back at him.
True. Yeah.
All right. So now he's going to stay back there. Just slot 2 points. Slot the ace point. That's an interesting idea. Slot one of those points. Now he will hit if he can.
No, he can't.
and block the 8s.
Yeah, block 8s, double 4s, double 2s, etc.
Oh, 7s. Well, 7s. Oh, no, now we need an ace. Otherwise, racing.
Okay. Game over.
Yeah, wow. Very exciting. That was fun. There's no, what's the race here? Yeah, it's not 0. We need to start with boxes. That's not close. 6-4 is too big. Can we still get gammon? Can we gammon him? No, can't gammon him anymore. What's that going to be? 7-3? Is that what we're getting to?
Yeah.
Ooh, 4 away, 8 away. Well, that's sort of fun. 4 away, 8 away. Get a big cube. At a million years ago, they had World Amateur Championship in Vegas that some clever Henry Watson from New York put together. They got zillions of players. It was a big deal. I don't know, 1978 or 9 or somewhere back then. I have to look it up. But they considered me too good to play in the Plimpton Cup. They had old George Plimpton doing commentary with Magriel in the finals. But there was a professional section, where the so-called pros couldn't play in the amateur. Why they thought I was a pro was beyond me, but they did. So I got paired in a round 1 or round 2 against Barclay Cook. And he got ahead 1-0 to 15. And I published the cube actions in Las Vegas Backgammon magazine because I won the match on the next game. We got a 16 cube.
Nice one.
And Barclay Cook. He didn't. I mean, he was a gentleman about the whole thing and just tickled pink to play. So that was fun.
I went to the Las Vegas Open, which was also the US Open maybe 5-6 years ago, and I played Ron Rubin.
Yeah, there you go.
And I didn't have enough money to do a buy-in, but the first round I played Ron, and it was literally one game on the 16th. It's a 15-point match, and it lasted one game. So that was my trip to Vegas, which lasted about 15 minutes.
Well, you got to play Ron Rubin. I mean, his story is a long and colorful one.
Is he still playing, Ron? Now that Patty's left us, is he still around?
I have not seen him at a tournament in quite a while. He showed up. I think last I saw him is when his wife Patty was nearing the end of her fight with her illness, and they both showed up at the Met Open in New York, New Jersey. And you got to go back and figure out when Patty died, and that'll tell you what year it was. It was a delight to see both of them, and I've known Ron forever, and Patty even longer. She used to run a backgammon club in Baltimore back in the 70s. She hadn't met Ron yet back then.
Right.
Ron still plays some bridge.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. He was away from bridge for a long time. He's a world-class bridge player, or certainly was when he was younger. And he was looking to get back into it and playing online. And he asked me, would I help him play online and develop a partnership? And we started to go through all kinds of detailed system notes and things, but finally...
Oh, shot. A shot rang out. Hang on.
Oh!
Ollie never misses these. That's how you know those Super J's judged by hitting these.
Chase my brother away here.
He never misses. Does Mr. Squire. I think taking this to checker off is right, isn't it? 6 off. Because you've got to leave with 6s anyway, so.
Well, that's the question.
You could dance on your old 6-5 here.
Yeah, I guess I don't know the answer. Well, the machine beeped it.
Yeah. So you were a bridge partner with Ron for a while, were you?
Well, not quite. We were going through exchanging emails back and forth about all these detailed system notes. I've now got extensive system notes with Ron, but we never actually played. I ended up spent a lot more time, my limited bridge time, playing with someone else, and he ended up playing with. He did a lot of practice play with David Leibowitz, who won one of those early World Amateur Championships, and occasionally he's a decent backgammon player. He won that, which was a big deal when he was a kid. I see Ronnie online some. I'm not sure what he's done in live bridge. All right, back to all this nonsense. Back away from that nonsense to this good stuff.
I've just seen a post. US just crossed 88. Is that the magic number?
That is the magic number.
Okay, so you've won.
Well, thank you. I count myself as two-thirds US and 1/3 UK these years.
Well, of course, Jason Pack now is wins whatever the score. Now that he's half Brit, half US.
Is he officially half Brit, half US?
I think so. He's playing for the UK in this.
I guess that gives him something. My daughter has become a dual citizen. And both of my grandchildren are dual citizens. So talking to them, you would think they were pure Brits. They talk funny. All right, I think we get to watch the end of this, even though in theory the tournament's over. This match isn't over, and it's very exciting. Oh, wow.
So do you, hit two? No, don't hit another man. Yeah, hit two. Yes.
I think you do the sweep the leg.
Yeah. No.
He's not going to do that. That's
a misclick.
All right, hit. Enter. 3 takes all the fun out of it.
Oh, bad dance.
Oh, look at that. Perfect.
Oh, just make the 3. I'd make the 3.
No, I think cover everything and then bring the builders down as fast as you can.
Maybe. Oh, switcheroony.
Yeah, nifty shifty. More builders. Yeah, do you keep him going to the 9? I think so.
Yeah.
Cover the 3-point.
Exactly. Yeah.
More builders. Just keep bringing builders. You're going to need them.
No, I wouldn't touch that.
I have no idea what that's all about. Back that up there. You can't do that.
Just get 2 down.
Yeah, absolutely. Looks like it should make something, but it doesn't. Now we got 14 of the 15 in position. Time for double 3s or 6s. Oh, come on!
Oh dear me!
Come on! Look at that. Well, there's your rare root.
Yep.
Rare root number. I get Junior out of Dodge now. Double 3s, yes. Double
there we go.
All right. There's all kinds
just
of
before the 2-1.
I don't think he can run off the gammon, but he can hit a shot to either win or potentially get off the gammon.
Yeah.
You got to build it as fast as you can. And now it's at an 8, but not double 2s. Ooh, fired a warning shot. I don't know if you try to be cute and
I would play to the 19. I just in case he rolls 2-1, 3-1.
That's exactly.
I would play the 3. I'd play the 3 though.
Also does you some good on double 4s. That's what he's clearly thinking about. It seems like step into the 19 jumps right out at you. Yeah. There he got it. I think that's probably right. Where does it cost you?
Well, if he rolls if it's only really 4-1, 3-2 because at any other 5 he's good for him anyway.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are we sure we want that plot? Is the gammon assured? Yeah, it didn't matter.
I don't think he's going to save this one.
Yeah, I don't either. So do we just build our board up? It looks like saving the gammon is almost.
Yeah, I'd slot both points here with the 6-4.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's, yeah, there he's sort of having both, having wasting no pips and slotting part of his blockade. This may be inconsequential. They're sort of the same play. Well, again, I'm not sure there's enough pips on the dice to save this thing running. It looks like that's what he's. I mean, some of these were sort of close. If you can keep your checkers in play and not waste pips, that makes some sense. And that's sort of a default, and that's what he's doing. You know, he's if you can have it both ways, go ahead and have it both ways. Now he could have a much better board now, but he hasn't wasted anything. You know, on the minus side is if he gets a shot and hits it and he's not really quite ready, then he's cost himself a lot. Yeah, it's you know, he could make the 7-point and come off to 22. That you know,
I reckon they're really, really close. But
that's
well, this is the sort of guy who would spend 10 minutes working out the difference of 6 millipoints. You know,
yeah.
Why he runs out of time.
I just don't see saving the gammon. This doesn't seem possible.
No.
Which means you need a little bit better position to win the game, or save the gammon by hitting and containing if he's got 9 checkers off, 10 or 11. Well, that does nothing. Yeah, he finally decides maybe he's not going to save it. Need an ace, Gerry. Make it interesting. That's not an ace. Can he get backgammoned? Not now. Let's watch him roll 4s and 6s to miss saving the gammon by a pip. He'll turn back and yell at us for talking him into making a bad play. Where did we get to?
Right, 2-way, 4-way. I love this score. I often prefer being the trailer at this score.
Is it time for Oliver to double? I think it is.
Well, he should slot this, shouldn't he? And then if he misses,
slot double take. Show us, Oliver. Show us the cube. Think, oh, he did not.
No. I mean, it's his roll now. So.
Okay. I got backwards.
Yeah.
Backwards. He's trying hard.
I think I'd send it now.
I'd have sent it virtually every time. As soon as I had my 5-point, I'd send it. Well, now
that looks like a very good market losing roll, probably.
Well, how about now? I mean, there's certainly gammons at the end of the tunnel.
I would pass it now. I think he should have done it earlier. Yeah.
Yes. Well, yeah. It's the old rule.
Okay.
Wow.
We got the doubles has been flagged, so that's weird. Okay.
Yeah, I'm suspicious.
What do I know?
Well, I'm with you. And the old Magriel saying, you're behind 4 to go, 2 to go, basically double on the opening roll, or make your 5-point and then double. We didn't make both points with the double 3s. Maybe you couldn't. Well, this is actually for all the flurry of excitement, this is actually an interesting game.
Yeah, if he missed the shots, Gerry's got a great game here. He should make the 5 eventually, we'd think. So we'll see.
He's starting to be in danger of burying checkers right now. This,
yeah.
You know, ooh.
There we go.
Well, there we go. That builds everything and leaves them ready to pounce if Oliver runs. Huh.
Well, do you play this? Yeah.
Yeah. There's the expert play. Just 1s and 3s, and
20 shots.
You're home.
Just 20 shots. Yeah. This is a lot more.
I like the expert play.
Yeah. And if you roll a 3, which doesn't point, that just picks and passes the other way. Yeah.
He's looking back. He's looking forth. Get out there, Oliver. It's more fun. You can just announce expert play and jump out there. Yeah, it would have been hit. We have to kill it. What do you do? It's all played. Hold everything. Make another point. All right.
That's a great roll.
Yeah.
Lovely roll from Jimmy.
Look at that.
The race is on. Bit of wastage from Oliver, though. So, do you make 4 here?
Maybe. You certainly put 1 checker on it. Now you put the other. So here we got whoa! This was a pips versus rolls thing. It just turned into a huge rolls. Well, they're both cracking the whip.
Yeah.
Who's got more checkers off? The same. Ooh, nasty little 2 there. 1, 2, 3.
5-3.
Yeah, I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. Maybe.
If you play 4-2, then any 4 is awful. If you play 3-2, then a 3. Sure.
Well, that worked. Don't. Oh, now we need doubles. Wow.
Interesting. Okay.
Hey, look at the PRs.
PRs are excellent. Excellent PRs. I could easily swap over with rollouts.
That's phenomenal. Well, that was a fun match. I enjoyed chatting with you.
Yeah.
What are they doing? They're spinning around doing something.
You guys are on the hook until the last match is played.
We gotta keep. There's still more matches going.
All right. I've only got work in the morning.
There's 3 matches left, but as you stated, the event is sort of complete in terms of the winner. But there are the current matches still happening are Chris Trencher and Alan Steffen and Bob Wachtel, which Bob just finished. So we're going to jump to the next one. A lot of good DMP matches here.
Well, I'm going to sign off, Ken. So sorry.
All right, well, it was a pleasure chatting with you. Thanks for helping out.
Yeah, I've got work in the morning.
Yeah, there you go. All right, good night.
All right. Good to see you, mate. I'll see you around.
All right, good night.
Bye, all.
All right, what have we got? 9 to 8. Where's the cube? Cube's in the middle. So it's 1-0 to 3. The Magriel hustle from 50 years ago. No one would play him. So because he was the great Paul Magriel, the young great Paul Magriel. No one would play him for money. So he'd say, okay, we'll play a 3-point match and I'll give you a big spot. I'll spot you 1-0 to 3. And people would go, oh, that's a great deal. I'll do that. And, no one knew much about matches, but 1-0 to 3 sounded like a huge lead. It is actually a pretty big lead, but it's not as big as some people thought. It's actually bigger than Magriel thought. But he'd play everybody, spotting him 1-0 to 3, and generally, win. The match strategy and knowledge of matches, particularly by average players back then, was virtually nil. No one knew anything about matches. So the Magriel hustle was spot him 1 point in a 3-point match and then squash him with superior cube play along with his checker play. All right, meanwhile, here we are 1-0 to 3. And it's a pretty close game. Pips are close. Position's reasonably close. 4-3 is annoyingly blocked. He wants to get out with one of those 3 back checkers, but can't. Makes the expert play of stacking a checker on his 6. 4-1. They could dump him in his home board, but I think this is clearly the right play, particularly with a strip midpoint. 6-1. Well, you can hit with the ace and pop out with a 6. This instinctive making of the point might be wrong. Yeah, that's a good boy. Hit with the ace and pop out with a 6. There you go. Well done, Alan. I think that's right.
Yeah, Simon Barget is a sort of last-minute substitution of the highest caliber. He is a GM3, I believe, and he previously replaced Andrew Selby, who was on the roster, but unfortunately had to bow out of Sunday's event, and so this guy came in to join, and he's certainly one of the top GMs in England. So very, very, very powerful, good sub. And Alan Steffen, as we know, is one of the historically great players in the U.S., has been around a long, long time, done a lot for the game. He currently coaches and helps clubs in the Florida area and New York area as well to become better backgammon players.
Thank you. Yeah, my guess is, I mean, Alan plays very, very well, but the level of play in this tournament is above very, very well. So he's probably got his work cut out for him playing against Simon, but so far, you wouldn't know it, so, which is A Pros and SNUA.
Yeah, we have seen quite some of the best online backgammon I have ever seen. So I don't know how that ranks in your world, but for me, as a relative newcomer, with 2 years of backgammon experience, I have never quite seen such consistently good and low play from this many players all at once.
So this is a spectacular. You're absolutely right. It's not just that you're new to the game. This is almost peerless.
Yeah.
There's nothing like this. Just an enormous number of very, very strong players playing each other. I love it. So which is which? Is Alan A Pros or SNUA?
Alan is AP Rose.
Okay. SNUA. Why is he SNUA? Let's decipher some of these vanity license plates and know what they mean. All right, so let's get back into action. Everybody's sitting around waiting for something to happen, and nothing's. Well, yes, things are happening. We're leaving blots all over the place. And if we don't leave blots all over the place, what do we do?
He's trying to clean something up back there.
Yeah, I mean he can do nothing. He remains ahead in the race, but if he hits, clean that up, boy, it's he can scramble home that way. I mean, if you got to win quickly, you make the first play he looked at. You want to go slowly. The problem with this play is A, what do you do next turn? And B, next turn your opponent, if you leave all those blots strewn all over the place, your opponent's going to build his own 6-point, and then what are you going to do when you have to roll? I think he's right to make his best move to the hoop here if he can. 3s and then 1s and 6s on the other side. That's not so many. And there is a blot in his home. I mean, if he plays safe, what are you going to do for your next trick? You could also play, by the way, 14-9 and 6-4 and just play positionally. Now that leaves a double shot there, but he's got the anchor on the 18 to fall back on, and he's got a decent position. And then there's this: cover the 4 and leave all those blots. He hasn't looked at the intermediate play, which I think deserves some consideration. But I don't know which I would do. This probably wins the most, so maybe it's the right play. It wins and loses quickly, as opposed to the other plays, which stretch things out. And that is one of my favorite sayings. XG didn't, or the tournament, whatever bot it is, didn't like it. That doesn't mean it's wrong. Most backgammon players put too much effort on playing not to lose as opposed to playing trying to win. And there's a big difference. This is a not to lose play, and the hit play was trying to win. Or as in the poker world, they say you can't live and win a tournament if you're not willing to die. You got to be willing to put it all on the line at some point.
I'm a regular player where my PR routinely punishes me for my extremely aggressive doubling cubes, and my PR would probably be a lot better if I was more, subtle and a little reserved about my cubing. But my personal saying is XG is a coward. I like to fight, and I like to just really, really throw it at them, and I'm going to be super aggressive even if my margin is smaller, but I like my upcoming position, and I just go for it. So I go for the haymaker right away with the cube, and it backfires plenty of times, but it has allowed me to beat people with much better PRs on a regular basis.
Yeah, and that's part of the game is not to get the best PR. The game is the thing is to win. And if you're playing a better player or a considerably better player, make the play that gives you a shot to win. Even if the computer is going to say, "Oh no, playing against me or playing against the computer itself or playing against an equal player, you shouldn't do that." There's a lot to be said for if you can see a path to winning, take it. Any game, the true experts are the ones that find a way to win. And if you're just sitting back trying not to lose, that's not going to get you. You're going to eventually fail and you're going to lose. You're trying to win, even if it's not as often as you like, you will win sometimes. Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, this thing just, everybody's holding on to everything and nothing's changing. Looking back, didn't like the 5-2. I guess we saw that.
I just want to mention a couple of the people as we wrap up this event. There's a lot of people that are operating behind the scenes here to make these events possible. So I just want to go ahead and say thank you to Jeff Hall and David Sanders, Merrin Rose, Andy Darby, and John Barnes of the UKBGF. They have done phenomenal work on coordinating and getting everything ready for all the events. Try to make it really easy on the players so they can just show up and play their tournament rooms. So there's lots of configurations that have to happen on Heroes. There's lots of managing the spreadsheet, as you've seen. There's lots of coordinating both commentators, deciding how events will be played out. And the beautiful part about this is a labor of love for everybody. So everybody's volunteering their time, contributing heavily, and doing some really amazing stuff. And then on the U.S. side, we of course have the great Kent Goulding. We have had Alex Eschigian, and we have had we had a few commentators that we had on the card, but had to bow out at the last minute. We had originally planned on having Phil Simborg as well, but we have been lucky enough to have Kent Goulding all weekend long. So thank you so much for your time. You have put in a tremendous amount of effort and time on your commentary. So thank you for that. And then on the U.S. team side, we've had Rory Pascar and Joseph Russell acting as the captains. They have been working tirelessly to do PR analysis on the back end. So one thing people watching might not know is that every single match is run through an extensive XG analysis using world-class settings, which is the highest settings you can get to determine the very, very finest, closest PR analysis we can get. And then that's used to update our spreadsheets. And every single match gets analyzed by two separate people to ensure fairness on each side. And then there are conclusive results that are posted in the spreadsheet. And this has been an ongoing effort. We start 2 hours before the stream begins, people start working and lining up. And then a couple hours after the stream ends, we're still doing PR analysis. So there's a lot of good people volunteering their time to make these things happen for the UKBGF and the USBGF.
And don't forget Stuart Steen Connolly.
Yeah, I've been trying to make this thing go as smooth as possible with streaming, but there are just some things that don't want to comply. Oh, I also forgot to mention Dmitry Obukov is also our champion PR analysis on the back end. And then also a big thank you to Terj Peterson, the founder and developer of Heroes. He has been helpful with getting some stuff done and finalized for us in the back end.
And Stuart has been, I've not met Stuart live, and I think this is the first time I've met Stuart not live. And the amount of work that's been done and the excellent quality of the work that's been done is mind-boggling. I mean, so much of what we see is thanks to Stuart at all kinds of levels. So thank you very much. It's great for Backgammon.
It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun.
All right, meanwhile, as we wind down this game, we've got
and pass. All right, now we're Crawford.
This one's over.
Looks like
and
both players.
It feels like you're a desperado down Crawford 3 to go, but you still got a 25% chance of winning the match, basically. So it's just like a skinny take, and away we go. And once again, what do gammons mean? In short matches, this is a huge consideration in terms of how you play your checkers. And in this situation, gammons don't really help either side. Very slightly the trailer because it can save them a free drop, but basically, it's you're playing DMP. Both sides are playing to win the game, and don't care if they get gammon and don't care if they win a gammon. And right now, we got a very close race where Alan's position is much better developed, but Simon has no back checkers.
Alan is technically not BMAB certified, and he mentioned before that I believe he plays average around a 6-7 PR, so he's playing phenomenal today.
We got here 6-2. Well, okay, he's slotted now 6-2 the other way. How's the race? The race is no bargain. 6-3. He could make the cutesy pie play here, which is leave no blots and make that silly looking 2-point. Now, for coverage purposes, what has he played so far? I guess he played the whole thing. 6-1's easy. Just improve your blockade. Can't move the back checker, so that's sort of forced. No two good plays there. That's sort of forced. Here's a choice. Problem with racing is you're behind in the race. The great Kit Woolsey started the saying years ago, which it still exists today. If you're behind in the race, don't race. Mm-hmm. So now sometimes you're desperate and you've got no better game plan. But back there, it may have been right to step up with a 3 and then use a 6 in his home board.
Is there any advantage to race at this point to avoid getting gammon?
No, gammon is almost inconsequential. So, gammon saves a free drop, which is, what that is, some sliver or 1% or 2% or something down there.
Okay, I made a mistake talking here. This is why I'm not on the commentary usually. But Alan does have a BMAB certification of M1, which is Master 1, and his last 300 average PR was at a 4.67. Okay, so he is playing a little bit better than his average. Let's put it that way then.
That's strong.
And for those watching who are wondering what the BMAB is, it is the Backgammon Masters awarding body, and it designates certain players either the ranking of Super Grandmaster or Grandmaster 0, Grandmaster 1, 2, and 3, as well as Masters 1, 2, and 3, as well as advanced and intermediate rankings for depending on how they play under certified matches. And those certified matches are done by recording match play using camera systems and then transcribing it to feed into XG analysis. And so it's a very foolproof way to determine who is truly playing at which levels. And then it's an international organization, and Dmitry Obakov as well as Roberto Litzenberger are two of the key founders. There are quite a few people that I'm not sure of everybody in there that help run this thing, but it is a very amazing organization. And if you ever wanted to know more about it, I believe the website is bgmastersab.com, and you can find out more about becoming.
Well, a lot of the tournaments in the U.S. they'll have a lead-in event before, ahead of the main tournament and main events, which is a BMAB thing, and it's a negligible entry fee. I think most of the entry fee goes for having your matches recorded and transcribed, and you get a mix of not terribly good players and grandmasters. So for it's almost a free lesson from the better players who play. And there are plenty of players that justifiably will very good players will play because they're looking to boost their PR or finally get enough experience points to be a grandmaster or whatever. I mean, I've talked to a number of players over the last couple of years since they were doing all this that told me, no, I'm gonna play in the BMAB, just another 50 experience points and I'm a grandmaster or whatever. So it's fun. And it can be educational. It's a good measure.
So I hear when you're a grandmaster, your club is supposed to buy you your drinks or something at the club events. Is that the perk of becoming a grandmaster? You win the love and adoration of your fellow players.
There you go. That's it. Meanwhile, what's happening here?
We have a 4-point block, and he's looking to blitz.
Yeah, this looks like Allen's definitely got the upper hand by a lot.
Let's see if
ahead in the race, ahead in the position, ahead in everything.
Oh, and dancing. Oh wow, but not able to cover. Oh, there we go. Here's the tiger play, and one checker goes back, but he can secure and close a point.
Get in. And there we go. Now, Allen doesn't really care about the blot on his 10-point because Simon's not going to be leaving the 20-point. There's not. He wants outfield coverage, and that's what he's looking at here. Get checkers into the outfield.
Duplicate twos. Keep something safe.
And this, it's not inconceivably that the right play isn't to come in with 2 and out with a 5. Not around with a 5. Like make the 16-point. Just keep an aggressive presence in the outfield. You're miles ahead in the race. You gotta see the play before you can make the play. Now, I'm not guaranteeing it's right, but it's the play I'd make. You got to play this to the end. There's gammons don't matter, winning or losing. And this looks sort of silly. That takes all pressure away from your opponent and just assumes that later on you'll be able to do something good. But that checker on the 7-point is guarding the 5-point so that your opponent can't leave there with 1 and leave 1 behind immune. If he pops out with a 6-1 or something. I still think, show it to us. Well, I thought he could make the 16-point. He can't. So if he came in with a 2 and came out, he'd be really going nuts. That may be too much. I thought he could come in with a 2 and make the 16, but he can't do that. So maybe this is right. And now there's 2 big choices. If he hits, he should bring both out, or he can just point on the 2-point and try to go from there. He's miles behind in the race. So, this might be a mirage. But at least he has a stronger board, which is a way to win.
Just needs 1 point.
And again here, this is running to safety might not actually be the right play for Allen. There may be some leaving some blots in the outfield, which covered more stuff. neither side can do anything.
Simon is just biding his time, waiting for a shot and waiting for Allen to start trying to run.
Yeah, well, maybe the right play here is actually to give up the 20 point and just cover the outfield. Somewhere along the way here, Allen should be getting a checker off that 20 point, even if it's exposed to being hit.
Do you think he needs to make the 18 here? Or hang back
well,
a little longer?
It's not that he wants to make the 18. It's that it's not a bad idea just to get some presence out there.
Okay.
You know, I've been advocating getting checkers out there since the position began, basically. Okay. All right, there's a play to win by Simon. Now he's got to clean it all up, just get in quickly, and we're kind of right back where we were, but the race has gotten a bit closer.
I think
Allen needs to get in, preferably in and out.
Simon's got to be thinking about clearing his 20 point.
Yeah, well, he could have cleared that for some time now. And that too is, how's he going to get home eventually? And I think this is reasonable. Watch what happens. Ooh, it's a 5-2 instead of a 5-1. You know, 5-1, it might have been right to come in and actually break the 6 and hit. Those are great plays when they pop up. But we didn't get to see it. And now, what do we got? We want to cover what we can cover, play safe. Maybe. And where'd that guy come from? Might be right to play
Gotta move to
13, 12
right?
to 7 and come off the 20 point. Yeah, what he's thinking about, I don't think this is a time to hit. So he's doing this in order to keep the 20 point in contact with the blot on the 14.
Yeah, moving the 23 to the 2 to the 1 was the right play to avoid those double fours.
Look, the computer didn't like 20 to 14, 2 to 1. I liked it. Now, is there any reason not to just do this? Now we're letting him come to us as opposed to getting out there and contesting in the outfield.
Oh, that changes the race considerably.
Yep.
Huh. And the run, okay.
Yeah, I guess I'm not sure it wasn't right to leave one of those back. He did that awfully quickly.
Yeah, the 3-3 to run was the incorrect there.
Yeah. I think he was supposed to leave one of them back there. I don't know what all those numbers are. Oh, here. Well, what do we got?
Go.
This is right not over. Which side's winning?
And Heroes has a way of immediately correcting the karma. You know, somebody gets a double, the other guy gets that double right back.
I guess.
Oh, here we go.
This looks like a good position. Okay, 2-roll position. Not all doubles work.
One double to secure it. Oh my God, it is over.
2s are better.
Simon wins.
Have we reached the end? Is there more?
This was DMP. Yeah.
I mean, are there any other matches?
I believe there might be one more. I'm gonna check right now. Has everybody got some? Wait, what is this? This is not a certified Magriel
That's something else. I don't know what that is.
Somebody has bombarded the tournament room. So
maybe the tournament room has no matches going.
I believe we are officially at the end of our event.
Well, that was very exciting. I had a great time watching. I hope I didn't bore too many people. Congratulations to the U.S. team. And heck, I'm already looking forward to next year.
So if we were to sort of open up and switch to the final point system, you can see that we have the final score being 99.5 to 74.5, which is a stunning, well-earned victory for the U.S. And I'm sure some of these guys are out celebrating right now. So I know there was some money on the line between the U.S. and U.K. players, and they will be putting those funds to good use, I'm sure.
I didn't know this. It was on the overall match, or you have no idea?
All the matches are currently complete. I could see all the
No, I
scores
mean in
and be
terms of
recorded.
if anybody was having a little flutter on the event, were they betting on themselves or on the overall lineup?
Yeah, we could see the U.S. won 22-19 in round 5 singles, and we got Rory Pascar, captain of the U.S. team, chanting USA, USA, USA. So that's the classic finale chant for any American Dream Team. And I will have to say, this has been a backgammon Dream Team of considerable caliber. There have been maybe 3 or 4 GMs that did not play on this team, but pretty much everybody of the U.S. GM, directory list. It's a fairly good sized list for any nation, but they pretty much all came to play, and they all came. And we had a couple of the qualifying players who were Alan Steffen, Jeffrey Brunn, Jim Finson, and Paul Swain. Really worked their way through a qualifier that we had on the online tournament series in the USBGF.org. So they qualified over a qualifying field of about 86 players, I believe, to come out ahead and join this team. And then all the GM2 or better were given an invite to play on the team. A few players couldn't do it because they were, had conflicts and schedules, but everybody came to play. So we have Gerry Tansey, Marty Storer, Matt Cohn-Geier, Bob Wachtel, Neil Kazaras, Steve Sachs, Chris Trencher, Kit Woolsey, and Rory Pascar, who are the known GMs. And then Joseph Russell, I believe, has GM level play, but is not on the BMAB. And so quite the system team here. And I would really have to say this is harkens back to the dream team that we once saw at the U.S. Olympics. Maybe backgammon is not as great as the NBA and the Olympics basketball squad, but it was a very exciting team to watch.
As a small footnote before I fade away, the year that there was the initial U.S. backgammon dream team, they came through Monte Carlo en route to the Olympics, but I think maybe played a demonstration match there during the Backgammon World Championship. And they stayed on the same floor of the hotel that I was staying on. So we got to mix and mingle with the up close and personal with the Backgammon Dream Team. They shared elevators with them, sit next to them in restaurants. It was really pretty amazing. A long time ago.
Wonderful. All right. Well,
all right. I guess I've talked myself hoarse. Had a great time.